My child, stop what you're doing. I need your full attention now. This moment is not random. It is not routine. It is a divine summons. I, the Lord your God, have stepped into your timeline with a message sealed in heaven and delivered straight to your soul. Get ready for good news. Yes, you. The one who's been holding on by threads of hope. The one who's questioned whether I still see, still speak, still move. I do, and I'm about to prove it. Every second of this word carries strategy, confirmation, and the sound of something shifting. Do not look away. Do not scroll past. To miss this would be to misplace a moment of destiny. Watch this through to the very last breath, because by the end, you will not be the same. This is your turning point, and heaven is watching how you respond. My beloved child, in the quiet hum of your thoughts and the rhythm of your daily steps, I have stepped in with purpose. You were not scrolling by accident. You were not simply curious. You were drawn here, summoned by my spirit, because the hour has come for you to know something that cannot wait another second. I have wrapped this moment in divine urgency, not to startle you, but to awaken something within you that has grown weary, something sacred that has almost stopped expecting. The air around you may feel the same, but the atmosphere of heaven has shifted. This moment is alive with intention, and I'm speaking now because something you've prayed for, longed for, cried for, is standing at the threshold, and it carries the weight of my glory with it. I know what you've been feeling. The exhaustion beneath your smile, the aching behind your strength, the questions that rise quietly when the room gets still. You've been asking, where is the breakthrough? Where is the shift I've been waiting for? And child, I've heard you. But more than that, I've been preparing you. Preparing your spirit to carry what I'm about to release. You see, what's coming cannot be received by hands still clinging to yesterday's fears. That's why I've allowed this pause, this holy disruption, to rest upon you now. I am slowing the world around you so that you can finally hear the sound of heaven, the sound of change, the sound of fulfillment, the sound of good news that is no longer delayed. Do not confuse this silence with inactivity. This is the moment just before the trumpet sounds. This is me clearing the noise, so my whisper can resound like thunder in your soul. My beloved, I want you to take a breath, not just a shallow breath, but a deep, soul-filling breath, and feel what's happening around you. Yes, right now. The air is no longer the same. It may feel subtle to your natural senses, but in the spirit, something has changed. The atmosphere surrounding your life has shifted under my command. This isn't just emotional hope or wishful thinking, it's spiritual momentum. The stillness you've walked through, the delays you didn't understand, the unexplainable tightness in your chest, those were not signs of absence. They were evidence of pressure building in the heavens, preparing for a release of such glory that it would take your breath away if I gave it all at once. But now, the pressure is lifting. A wind is shifting. The divine current that once felt stagnant has changed direction. And child, it is flowing toward you. You see, you've been living in a climate of contradiction. Promises hanging like stars above you, but days filled with shadows that seem to whisper, maybe not for you. I watched as you tried to reconcile my word with your reality, as you stared at walls that refused to move, as you held onto hope with trembling hands. But I want you to know what I've done. I have exhaled. I breathed into the very space you felt forgotten in. And with one breath, I have pushed back the resistance. I've commanded angelic movement in places your feet haven't touched. You may not feel the full force yet, but let me tell you this. The air has been anointed, saturated, infused with the scent of my nearness. With every breath you take from this point forward, you are inhaling the beginning of breakthrough. You are standing in a shift that is not symbolic. It is seismic, invisible to the naked eye but undeniable in its unfolding. And I tell you again, the air has shifted in your favor. So breathe, child. Breathe deeply. Let your lungs fill with the evidence of change. Let your spirit rise with this new atmosphere. Because what I'm about to bring into your life cannot thrive in the stale air of fear or the toxic fog of doubt. I've purified the environment of your spirit so that what I release next will not be choked by anxiety or suffocated by past pain. I'm not just preparing the gift, I've prepared the ground. And the breeze you feel now, it's not empty wind. It's the early arrival of good news carried on the wings of my presence. You'll soon see things aligning that never seemed to fit. You'll feel strength returning to bones you thought would stay weary. You'll begin to weep, not from weariness, but from the overwhelming awareness that something holy is taking root. Yes, this is the new air, a holy atmosphere, a shift that marks your name in the winds of my favor. And it will not be reversed. Let's linger here for a moment longer, because I need you to absorb this. Your delay was not denial, it was divine setup. I held certain things back, not to punish you, but to protect the potency of what I plan. The release would not survive premature exposure. And now that the air has shifted, so has your alignment. You are not where you were emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Your soul has matured through the struggle. Your discernment has been sharpened in the dark. And now, under this new atmosphere, you are finally ready to receive what I've been preparing all along. This isn't just change. It's transformation. And transformation carries a fragrance, a weight, a wind. That's what you're sensing now. That's why your spirit is leaning in, and your chest is fluttering. It's the 4 days to favor. It's me breathing on your future. To stay still, stay sensitive, stay surrendered. Because the air has shifted, and the story is turning. You keep wondering why now. Why this second, this moment, this breath. You've asked if maybe it's just your emotions, your own voice trying to conjure hope again. But I am telling you plainly, this moment is not random. It is not accidental. It is a divine strike on heaven's calendar, etched into eternity long before your first cry. My child, I have watched you navigate hours that felt hollow, weeks that stretched into weariness, years that seemed like detours from destiny. But not a second has slipped past me. Not a moment has gone unnoticed. I have held time in my hands while your heart felt like it was suspended in limbo. But now, in this precise and perfect moment, I say to you, it's time. Heaven doesn't operate by human calendars. My movements aren't managed by clocks or dictated by deadlines. I move when purpose has reached its fullness and when the soil of your soul is fertile enough to receive without fear. You thought I was late. But no, child, I was aligning. I was aligning people, places, provision, and even your own heart. You see, you prayed for the promise, but I knew what the promise would require. And so I waited, not because I was unwilling, but because I was wise. I was patient for you, not distant from you. And now, I've leaned into your timeline and marked it with a divine declaration. The wait is over. This is not an emotional high or a passing inspiration. This is heaven's precision at work, a spiritual culmination, a sacred activation. This is not just the end of waiting, this is the beginning of fulfillment. Let's go deeper, because I need you to understand how sacred this timing really is. There were things you asked for years ago that didn't manifest, not because they were wrong, but because the weight of their fulfillment required a strength in you that had not yet been formed. The tears, the trials, the tension, they weren't just survival. They were shaping. They were strategy. Every unanswered question, every closed door, every detour that disappointed you, I used all of it. I folded it into your foundation so that when the blessing came, it wouldn't crush you. And now, because you didn't walk away, because you stayed when it would have been easier to run, I'm answering with swiftness. I'm moving without delay. This moment isn't random. It's revelation wrapped in right timing. So do not hesitate now. Do not second guess your readiness. I didn't choose this time because it felt safe. I chose this time because you're finally rooted enough to carry the blessing without it becoming a burden. And what I'm giving you, child, isn't partial. It's not a test run. It's the real thing. It's the start of divine momentum that will echo across seasons. The kind of movement that causes others to say, "How did that happen so suddenly?" But you'll know. You'll know it wasn't sudden. It was sacred. You'll know it wasn't random. It was revealed. And I will make sure that everyone who sees the fruit also hears the story. Because this is the hour where timing meets testimony. And the good news I've sent your way will not only fill your heart, it will overflow into others. This, my child, is the right time. By time. Your time. And it is unstoppable. My beloved child, I want you to know something with a certainty that shakes every lie loose. You've been heard. Yes, you. Not just your words, but your whispers. Not just your prayers, but your sighs. Not just your cries, but the sacred silence that echoed from your soul when you could no longer form sentences. I recorded it all. I received every groan of longing, every midnight plea wrapped in tears, every weary amen that felt more like a question than a declaration. I've been near through it all, not as a spectator, but as your father, your defender, your first witness. Heaven didn't miss a moment. My angels didn't overlook a single cry. There was not one prayer that hit the floor. They hit my heart, and they stayed there, waiting for the fullness of time. And now, that time is beginning to bloom. You thought you were speaking into the void, like your words were ricocheting off the walls of unanswered days. But child, while you were growing tired, I was growing the harvest. You were sowing seeds in prayer, not realizing that each one was being nourished in a soil deeper than the eye could see. The reason you didn't see immediate results wasn't because I didn't hear. It was because I was preparing a response too holy to be rushed. You didn't just talk to me. You trusted me. Even when you didn't feel it. Even when you weren't sure I was listening. That kind of faith stirs the heavens. It awakens angelic armies. It activates the kind of divine motion that shifts legacies. My child, your voice carried weight. Your whispered obedience carried authority. And now, I am sending the answer that silence tried to convince you would never come. Let me take you deeper. I not only heard your prayers, I held them. I didn't let them dissipate like vapor. I sealed them in the vault of my will, bound them in the ink of eternity, and aligned every detail to match the beauty of your destiny. Do you remember the time you prayed for peace when your world was falling apart? I sent my spirit to cradle your chest in that moment. You remember when you asked for direction but received delay instead? I was writing the map beneath your feet. And the time you wept without words, barely breathing between the sobs. I surrounded you with angels who ministered while you slept. You see, I don't just answer when you speak eloquently. I answer when your heart beats toward me in longing. Your relationship with me is not a transaction. It's a communion, sacred, deep, divine. I don't need perfect language to move. I need authentic surrender. And child, that's exactly what you gave me. So here's what you must understand now. The response is coming. The breakthrough is moving. And it is not random. It's the result of being heard. The silence wasn't proof of absence. It was proof of preparation. And now, because you spoke when no one else was listening, I'm answering in ways that no one will be able to deny. Not only will you receive the manifestation, you'll carry the mantle. You'll hold the evidence. And you'll know, deep in your spirit, that it wasn't luck, chance, or coincidence. It was the result of a faithful God responding to a faithful child. So let this truth settle deep into the marrow of your bones. You were never ignored. You were always heard. And now, heaven is speaking back. Child, come closer now, because I need to clarify something that's tried to confuse you for far too long. What you are about to receive is not delayed hope. It is right on time fulfillment. I know what it feels like when you've waited so long that hope begins to sound hollow. I saw the moments you opened your eyes in the morning and wondered if this would be the day that something finally changed, only to meet disappointment dressed in routine. I heard the questions in your heart that asked, did I get it wrong? Was I expecting too much? Was that promise even meant for me? Let me answer you directly. No, you were not wrong. Lo, you did not imagine it. And no, I did not forget. The hope you've carried is not outdated. It's not expired. It's not some rusted relic from a more faithful version of you. It is still alive. And I'm breathing on it now. The reason it felt delayed is not because I ignored it, but because I needed to preserve it. Some things are too holy to be delivered on a human schedule. What I prepared for you isn't fragile or fleeting. It's not wishful thinking. It's a divine fulfillment, and divine fulfillment has a divine clock. I wasn't just working on the promise. I was working on you. You needed to be stretched so you could hold the blessing without it crushing you. You needed to be strengthened so the fulfillment wouldn't feel like a reward you had to earn, but a gift you could rest in. And now, I see it in your spirit. You are no longer asking from a place of striving. You are asking from a place of surrender. And that, my child, is the position where heaven releases what has been held back. Let's break the lie that says hope hurts. No, real hope heals. Real hope doesn't tease, it transforms. And the hope I placed in you wasn't to torment your soul, but to prepare it for glory. It has weathered storms, been misunderstood, even buried at times, but it was never dead. It was growing in the dark, gaining weight, waiting for the alignment only I could orchestrate. And now, the lid is lifting, the pressure is shifting, and hope is about to bloom in broad daylight. This is not hope recycled, it's hope resurrected. And I'm not giving you a portion or a preview. I'm giving you the full picture, one that exceeds your past prayers, overflows your expectations, and silences the questions of your critics. This is the kind of hope that heals what was broken during the wait. So I say to you again, this is not delayed hope. It is divine culmination. And what you are about to see will justify every tear, every trial, every time you stood in faith while the enemy mocked your endurance. You are stepping into the payoff. You are walking into the promise. And it will be clear that no human hand could have manufactured this. It will bear my fingerprints, speak my name, and leave behind a fragrance of favor that others will recognize. Child, do not shrink your expectation. Don't water down your anticipation. Get ready for good news. He is not late. He is not lost. It is not little. It is my love revealed, and it's arriving right on time. Beloved, I want you to pause and pay attention to the pressure that's been in the air, because what you've been calling heaviness was actually the weight of breakthrough pressing through the veil. The clouds are lifting, not just in the sky above you, but in the spiritual realm where you've been feeling stuck, muted, and misunderstood. I've seen you trying to walk through your days with what felt like fog in your soul, like every step required more strength than it should. And I want you to know that wasn't your imagination. That was spiritual warfare. That was atmospheric resistance trying to crush the clarity I ordained for you. But I've declared a shift. I've spoken to the storm and said, enough. I've sent my breath to part the clouds of confusion, despair, and delay, and now, child, you're going to feel the light breaking through. It may start as a flicker, but don't underestimate it. That flicker is fire. That shiver is a sign. That warmth you feel rising, it's the first kiss of freedom. There are moments when the heavens grow silent, not because I'm absent, but because I'm arranging the wind. You see, when clouds gather and darkness looms, it's easy to assume that something has gone wrong. But let me reveal the truth to you now. The darkness was a covering. I was protecting the roots of your promise from premature exposure. What felt like delay was actually divine shade, shielding what was growing deep within. I let you walk through gray seasons so that when the blue sky returns, you'd recognize it not as ordinary, but as a miracle. And now, I'm removing the veil. The clouds that once hovered have been given notice. Their assignment has ended. I'm clearing the air for something radiant, something righteous, something real. The light is not just returning, it's revealing. And what's been hidden in the shadows will now be seen for what it truly is, glory in disguise. I want you to breathe this in. The fog of fear is lifting. The haze of uncertainty is breaking. The smog of shame is scattering. Where your soul once sat under a canopy of heaviness, it will now rise into an atmosphere of clarity, comfort, and confidence. You will see what you couldn't see before. You will know what you couldn't discern before. Your steps will no longer feel like trudging through mud, but like dancing on promise. Because when I remove the clouds, I don't just bring light, I bring revelation. I illuminate purpose. I ignite dormant dreams. I resurrect vision. And child, this is what's happening now. Not later. Not eventually. Now, the storm has passed its threshold. The pressure has fulfilled its purpose. And your eyes will now witness the unveiling of things I kept hidden for your protection. I am not only parting the clouds, I am painting the skies with your next assignment. And it will be bright. It will be breathtaking. It will be blessed. Let me be perfectly clear. This moment is not partial. This shift is not seasonal. This is a permanent change in your spiritual atmosphere. Where there was once perpetual pressure, there will now be perpetual peace. Where there was confusion, now there will be conviction. And where heaviness once hovered, now but utter. It's not just that the storm has passed, it's that you have passed the storm. You walked through it, not by your own strength, but by the strength of my sustaining hand. And now, I honor that journey by lifting the clouds, not gently, but gloriously. Watch what happens next. The colors of your life will return. The vibrancy of your soul will awaken. The wind in your lungs will feel different. The sky over you is no longer gray. It's golden. It's prophetic. It's my signal in the heavens that says, good news is here. My beloved, there's something I need you to hear with every fiber of your spirit. Not one drop of your faith was wasted. Not one prayer, not one step, not one yes. Even the smallest seed you sowed in the soil of hope, I saw it. I preserve it. I watered it with my own hand. And now, it's bearing fruit. You've been looking around, wondering why others seemed to reap while you kept sowing in silence. You gave when you had little. You believed when you saw nothing. You waited without applause, without updates, without clarity. And while it looked like nothing was happening, I was busy building. I wasn't just watching you. I was honoring you. I was recording every act of obedience, every silent surrender, every time you whispered, "I trust you," while your world trembled. Your faith has not been unnoticed. It has gone deep. And what grows deep cannot be uprooted by surface storms. Let me tell you something holy. Faith isn't measured by outcomes. It's measured by endurance. And you, child, have endured. Through the famine, you stayed faithful. Through the fire, you stayed firm. Through the fog, you stayed focused. And that kind of faith doesn't just move mountains. It moves me. Your faith stirred me, summoned me, activated divine strategies on your behalf that no man could see. Heaven responded to your stillness. Angels moved at your yes. Not because you had strength, but because you had surrender. Your faith wasn't loud. It didn't always look like bold declarations. Sometimes it looked like staying in the room when every part of you wanted to run. Sometimes it looked like praying even when you didn't feel anything. And I'm telling you now, that kind of faith is heaven's favorite. I saw you when you chose to forgive instead of retaliate. When you blessed others while bleeding silently inside. When you stayed loyal to me, even when nothing around you looked loyal. I know the cost of your consistency. I know the weight of your waiting. And I did not take it lightly. I've stored it, multiplied it, magnified it. And now, I'm returning it to you. Not as repayment, but as reward. You will see harvest in places where you thought the soil was dead. You will receive joy in areas where you once buried grief. Your faith has unlocked a vault of favor, and now I am pouring it out, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Not because you were perfect, but because you were persistent. You didn't quit. You didn't collapse. You didn't curse the process. You believed, even if only barely, and that belief carried power. So, listen carefully now. You are about to step into the visible evidence of invisible faith. What you did in secret will now shine in the open. What you built in the dark will now be celebrated in the light. I didn't forget what you carried. And now, I am revealing the crown that waited on the other side of that cross. Get ready to be surprised by harvest, to be overtaken by fulfillment, to be surrounded by what once seemed so far away. Your faith built a future, and now, the future is arriving. Let them see it. Let them witness it. Let them wonder how it happened. And when they ask, you'll smile and say, it was never wasted. It was wicked. Yes, child, your faith has found favor, and it's time to reap what you trusted me for. Child, come closer now, because I need you to hear this with the ears of your spirit, not just the thoughts of your mind. The good news that's coming to you is not generic. It's not mass-produced, recycled, or passed down from someone else's overflow. It's personal, intimate, designed specifically for you. This isn't a second-hand blessing that's been passed through many hands before it reached yours. And oh, what I'm delivering was crafted in the chambers of my glory, written with your name in holy ink, sealed with the fire of my love. It has never been assigned to anyone else, and no one else can carry it like you will. This is not just a response to your prayers. It's a divine inheritance, a signature gift from me to you, fitted to your fingerprint and sculpted for your soul. You've seen others rejoice, and while you celebrated them, You quietly wondered if your turn would ever come. You clapped for miracles you didn't receive, encouraged breakthroughs you were still waiting on, and blessed others while your heart broke in silence. And yet, even in your private ache, you remained faithful. You kept trusting, kept hoping, kept honoring me. And child, I took note of it all. I took those invisible offerings, the ones no one else saw, and I wove them into the very fabric of what I'm about to place in your hands. That's why this blessing is personal. That's why it feels like it was born out of your deepest sighs. Because it was. I didn't just hear your prayers. I formed something holy from them. Something pure. Something custom fitted to the exact ache that made you weep when no one was watching. This is why no one else could receive it in your place. I didn't assign a stand-in. I didn't pick a backup. I waited for you to be ready, waited for your heart to heal enough to carry it, waited for the moment when the weight of glory wouldn't crush you but crown you. The good news I'm bringing carries your history, your healing, your hidden tears, and your hallelujahs. It holds your timeline, your testimony, and your territory. It's not just good, it's God-breathed. And when it arrives, it will be undeniable. Not because it will be loud, but because it will echo in the places only you and I understand. It will carry the fragrance of grace, the fingerprints of favor, and the fullness of a Father's faithfulness. And when others look at it, they will not just see success, they will see my signature. So prepare your heart now. Make room for it. Stretch the borders of your expectation. Don't try to compare it to what others have received, because this isn't a copy. This is a covenant. This isn't a trend. This is a transfer. A holy deposit from heaven's storehouse straight into your story. And it won't fit anyone else because it was never meant to. What I'm about to do in your life will silence every voice that told you to settle. It will clarify every question that time couldn't answer. And it will awaken something eternal within you that no delay could kill. Yes, child, the good news is personal, and so is my love. I chose you. I prepared this. And now, I'm delivering what no man can duplicate. Pause, my child. Be still for a moment. Because while you've been sitting in silence, processing your battles, surviving the waves, heaven has been rejoicing over you. Not because you've done everything perfectly, but because you didn't give up when you could have. You didn't walk away when it felt easier to run. You didn't turn your back when the pain pressed in. I watched you lift your eyes when everything around you tried to push them down. I watched you kneel when others chose to numb. And for that, heaven has erupted in celebration. Yes, while you were crying quietly into your pillow, there was praise in my throne room. While you were trying to hold it together, angels were dancing in anticipation of the release now approaching. You didn't know it, but your perseverance became a party in paradise. You see, in this world, people celebrate results, but I celebrate resilience. While others count achievements, I count obedience. And you, beloved, have passed tests that weren't measured in public applause, but in private surrender. You've honored me in the unseen places, and that is what activates the celebration of heaven. Do you remember the moment when you said yes, and everything around you still said no? That was the moment angels shouted. That was when the scrolls of destiny turned their next page. I don't wait for you to win before I rejoice. I rejoice when you war with faith. And child, your warfare hasn't gone unnoticed. Your quiet victories are echoing louder than any platform. And now, the sound of your perseverance has reached its crescendo in the heavens. Let me show you what's happening in the spirit. Angels are being dispatched. Trumpets are being raised. The celebration isn't just about where you've been. It's about where you're going. They know it's coming. They see what's been released. They understand the magnitude of what's unfolding. And while you may feel like you're still in the middle, heaven knows that the door has already swung open. The celebration is not premature, it's prophetic. It's not hype, it's holy. The angels that were assigned to you haven't left your side for a second. And now, they are rejoicing because the seal has been broken. The shift has begun, and the good news is on its way like a river rushing to meet its source. So I say to you now, join the celebration. Don't wait until you see the evidence to dance. Praise now. Worship now. Laugh again. Dream again. Heaven isn't waiting for the final outcome. It's rejoicing in your becoming. Because I see who you are becoming through the waiting, through the worship, through the weariness. I see what's being formed in you, and it is beautiful. It is bold. It is battle-tested. And it is ready. So lift your head, even if it's trembling. Let joy return to your eyes, even if they are still wet with tears. Let praise rise again, not because everything is perfect, but because heaven has already begun to celebrate what I've set in motion. This is not just your moment. This is your movement. And all of heaven is standing, cheering, because the time is now. You made it here, and you're not going back. My beloved child, I know how long you've wondered if maybe, just maybe, the delay was your fault. If perhaps your pain was punishment, or the silence was some divine disappointment in you. But I need you to hear me now, not with your weary thoughts, but with your awakened spirit. You have not been punished. You have been purified. This wasn't rejection. This was refinement. The fire you walked through wasn't sent to consume you, but to consecrate you. I allowed the pressure not to crush you, but to create something holy within you that comfort could never produce. You weren't being punished for weakness. You were being prepared for glory. There are places I'm taking you that require more than talent or gifting. They demand weight. Not the kind that burdens, but the kind that breaks chains. And child, you couldn't carry what's coming if you hadn't been cleansed of what tried to cling to you in the last season. The people who left, the plans that failed, the clarity that collapsed, none of those were mistakes. They were surgical separation. I was removing attachments that would have diluted your destiny. I was stripping layers that would have suffocated your strength. And I didn't do it in anger. I did it in wisdom. My fire doesn't destroy, it distinguishes. And what's left standing after the flames, that's the purest part of you. That's the version of you that's not tainted by approval addiction, not twisted by timelines, not contaminated by compromise. You are now walking in fire-forged faith, and I call that beautiful. You thought the breaking meant you failed, but the truth is the breaking made you faithful. You thought the losses meant I was displeased, but I was actually protecting you from things you thought were blessings but were really burdens dressed in disguise. My child, gold doesn't come from comfort. Oil doesn't flow from unbroken jar. And weighty anointing doesn't come without crushing. But what's being birthed in you now is costly, because it's holy. You were asking for lightness, but I was preparing you for light-bearing. You were asking for peace, but I was anchoring you in purpose. And now, you're about to walk into a season where you will realize every closed door, every cold goodbye, every confusing silence was a sacred transaction. I wasn't taking, I was trading. Lesser for greater. Temporary for eternal. Pain for power. The weight wasn't wasted, it was worried. So release the guilt. Take off the shame. Bury the false belief that said you were being punished. I never left you. I never turned from you. I was the one holding your hand through the furnace. And now, like gold refined, you are coming forth, radiant, righteous, and ready. At ready, not just for good news but for divine unveiling. Because what I'm about to reveal through you will carry the fragrance of fire, not the smoke of suffering, but the incense of surrender. And people will ask, how did they come through that? And they will see, it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It wasn't delay, it was divine purification. And it is time for you to walk in the fullness of what the fire could not take. You stood in the gap. You believed in the dark. And now, as the winds of breakthrough begin to stir, I ask you, will you help me carry this good news to others still waiting in the silence? Every seed you sow becomes oil for someone else's lamp. Every act of generosity becomes manna in a desert I'm preparing to rain upon. My word in your hand becomes a weapon in theirs. This is your moment to partner with the fire I'm spreading. Give, and it shall be given unto you, not just words from a page, but a promise I'm igniting in your life right now. Sow into this mission through super thanks, membership, or the link I've placed in the description, and watch me multiply what leaves your hand. Move now, child. Sow with faith, and I will answer with fire. Child, I don't just want to give you a solution. I want to give you glory. I'm not delivering small winds that fade in the sunlight. I'm releasing something so weighty, so wondrous, so wildly beyond what you expected, that the only word heaven has for it is glory. Is his in service level success? Is his soul deep saturation? I'm not coming with crumbs, I'm coming with a crown. What I've prepared for you doesn't just answer a need. It reveals a dimension of me you haven't seen yet. This is not just good news. This is glory news. This is what makes angels sing and hell tremble. This is what confirms to the world that your story was never random. It was revelatory. You've been asking for direction, for healing, for breakthrough, and I'm answering. But I am doing more than that. I'm letting your life become a canvas where my glory is painted in brilliant, undeniable hues. I'm writing your redemption in bold strokes. The kind of glory I'm placing on this next season will leave no room for man to take credit. No one will be able to say they opened this door for you. No one will boast that they made this happen. It will be marked with such precise timing, such radical alignment, such unexpected elevation, that the only possible explanation will be, God did this. You've been in seasons where my glory was hidden, but now it's about to be highlighted. What once looked like delay will now look like divine design. What once looked like lack will now radiate as overflow. And the same mouth that wept in despair will now release praise soaked in glory. Let me show you what's happening in the unseen. The good news I've prepared isn't just for your comfort, it's for my kingdom cause. I'm answering prayers you forgot you prayed because the time has come for the world to see what happens when someone walks with me through the fire and doesn't turn away. The favor coming your way isn't chow. It's seismic. It's been stored up for the hour when your spirit was mature enough to carry it without being crushed by it. This glory doesn't exalt your name, it exalts mine. And when you step into rooms you didn't apply for, when you receive blessings you didn't negotiate, when you find yourself surrounded by opportunities you didn't orchestrate, you'll know. You'll know it was my hand, my heart, my glory, finally made visible in your life. To prepare for more than relief. Prepare for reverence. You're stepping into spaces that will feel so holy you'll weep without knowing why. You'll walk into divine collisions where the supernatural becomes natural. And you'll realize you weren't just waiting for an answer. You were waiting for a manifestation of glory. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. He wasn't just trying to take your peace. He was terrified of the glory that would rise from your perseverance. And now it rises, like smoke from a holy altar, like fire from a purified heart. Get ready to shine, not in spotlight, but in spirit light. Because this good news carries glory, and you were born to carry me. Child, there's something sacred I want to draw your attention to, something your heart has known before your mind could catch up. You've been sensing this, even when you couldn't articulate it, even when you questioned your own discernment, your spirit knew. You couldn't explain it to others, but it stirred in you like a whisper on the wind, soft, steady, sacred. And now, I affirm it, you were right to expect something. You weren't being dramatic. You weren't dreaming too big. You weren't clinging to false hope. What you were sensing was the first echo of my move. Your spirit recognized the sound of heaven long before your reality aligned. That feeling, the holy unrest, the divine discomfort, the stirring that wouldn't be quieted, it wasn't emotional instability. It was prophetic preparation. This is how I work with those who walk closely with me. I whisper before I thunder. I plan before I pour. I stir before I speak. And child, I have been stirring you for a reason. There's a reason you felt like something was shifting, like the spiritual air around you was charged with something unseen. There's a reason your prayers changed tone, why you started weeping without warning, why certain environments felt too small and certain relationships too shallow. It wasn't random. It wasn't nerves. It was me. I was pulling on the strings of your soul, expanding your capacity to receive what I was preparing to release. You were being aligned with a frequency higher than your circumstance. And now that the moment is here, you'll look back and say, yes, my spirit knew. Let me take you deeper. The tension you felt lately, that pull between contentment and craving, that was holy. That was the sign that breakthrough was closer than you realized. You weren't being ungrateful. You were being awakened. You weren't being impatient. You were being initiated into the next level of trust. What others dismissed as over-spiritualizing, I honored as spiritual sensitivity. You were tuned in when others were tuned out. And I saw you wrestling with that, trying to balance your discernment with doubt. But I was never offended by your questions. I welcomed them because they kept you in conversation with me. And that conversation became your compass. It guided you through the fog. It held your heart steady. And now, it will guide you into the fulfillment you couldn't yet see, but deeply sensed. So child, don't dismiss what you felt. Honor it. Stewed it. And trust it. Because I'm raising your discernment, sharpening your hearing, and rewarding the faith you had before anything was visible. When the news arrives, and it will, you won't be shocked. You'll be settled. You'll smile through your tears and say, I didn't see it coming like this, but I knew something was coming. That knowing, that holy hunch, that inner stirring, that gut-level whisper, that was me the entire time. Your spirit wasn't being anxious. It was being alert. And now, your alignment is complete. Get ready to see what your soul has been anticipating. It's arriving not just as confirmation, but as completion. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this is not just a season of arrival, it is a season of recovery. I am not simply bringing you good news. I am bringing restoration. And I want you to understand this clearly. This is not just the answer to your latest prayer. This is a return of what the enemy thought he had buried for good. I am the God who restores. I don't just replace what was lost, I redeem it. I revive it. I restore it in such a way that it comes back stronger, sweeter, and more saturated with my presence than it ever was before. What you thought was wasted is now being woven into the story of your rising. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will be missing from what I've ordained for you. I saw the pieces fall. I witnessed the collapse. I heard the shattering in the middle of the night when no one else did. You mourned dreams you thought would never breathe again. You buried expectations because hope felt too heavy. And yet, even in that place, the place of surrender and sadness, I was working. I was hovering. I was gathering every broken fragment with hands that don't fumble. I never intended for the destruction to be final. I always intended for it to be foundational. And now, I'm rebuilding. Not just better, but blessed. You will not recognize the very areas where you once wept. The places that echoed with silence will soon overflow with songs of sudden restoration. It won't look like it did before. It will look like more. Let me whisper this truth directly into your soul. Restoration is not just compensation. It's completion. It's when I fill in the cracks that pain left behind. It's when I don't just give you back what was lost. I give you back with interest. Double for your trouble. Beauty for ashes. Joy for mourning. Strength for your sorrow. My child, I don't do half miracles. I don't offer incomplete blessings. When I restore, I renew the mind, revive the soul, refresh the hope, and realign the heart. That relationship you lost, if it wasn't built on me, I removed it for your protection. That opportunity then disappeared. It wasn't the door, it was a decay. And now, I'm sending true restoration, heaven-authored, tailor-made, joy-infused. So raise your eyes again. Lift your hands without fear. Open your heart, not with hesitation, but with holy expectation. Because I'm not just making all things new. I'm making all old things useful. The seasons that seemed wasted will become wisdom. The years that looked like detours will now look like divine detours. The time you thought was lost will be redeemed by the timeless one. I don't need to go back to restore. I simply speak, and what was broken begins to bloom again. This is your season of sacred return. The locusts may have eaten, but they didn't destroy. Because what I planted in you cannot be stolen. And now, I'm restoring it in full. So prepare yourself. Not only are you about to receive good news, you're about to recover what you thought was gone forever. Child, I want to pull back the veil now and let you see what was really happening behind the stillness. You called it waiting. You called it delay. You even called it silence. But I call it weaving. Every moment you spent in that in-between, the long nights, the quiet tears, the seasons of not yet, none of it was wasted. I was not sitting idly by while time ticked forward. I was at work, with hands both gentle and strong, weaving something eternal into the very thread of your life. Every strand of pain, every ribbon of hope, every tangled question, I was threading them together with divine accuracy into a tapestry you couldn't see yet. You were standing still, but heaven was in motion. You see, waiting isn't about time standing still, it's about me moving deeply. While you stood at the edge of confusion, wondering when the breakthrough would come, I was moving through the roots of your destiny, aligning what eyes could not see. I was speaking to hearts on your behalf. I was opening doors in rooms you hadn't entered. I was softening the ground, calming the waves, preparing the place where your feet would land next. What felt like endless stillness to you was actually strategic, surgical, sovereign motion in the spirit. I was not ignoring you. I was enthroned in the waiting, mastering every connection, healing every fracture, planting seeds you didn't even know needed to grow. Waiting didn't delay your promise. It deepened it. And let me say this gently, but clearly. There were things I had to protect you from, things you would have accepted too soon, blessings you would have settled for before they were ripe. I had to slow the pace so you wouldn't pick the fruit before it was sweet. Some doors were closed not because you weren't good enough, but because they weren't good for you. And while you wept in the hallway of delay, I was constructing a hallway that led straight to glory. That ache you felt in the silence, that wasn't abandonment, that was invitation. I was calling you deeper, into trust, into maturity, into faith that doesn't need confirmation to believe. And you answered me, even when it felt costly. You stayed, even when it hurt. That is the kind of faith I reward with more than just answers. I reward it with intimacy. So now, beloved, understand this. The waiting is breaking open. But what's coming isn't just resolution. It's revelation. You'll begin to see how every thread comes together. Every detour will suddenly feel like design. Every pause will pulse with purpose. And you'll say, with tear-filled eyes, you were weaving the whole time. So don't regret the wait. Rejoice in it. Because the fabric of your future was not stitched by random chance. It was woven by a father who knew exactly what you'd need, exactly when you'd need it, and exactly how to deliver it in glory. This is not just your moment. This is the unveiling of the masterpiece that waiting made possible. Beloved, I know this season has worn on you. I've seen you questioning your strength, second-guessing your steps, and even forgetting the sound of your own joy. A long stretch of disappointment trying to alter your reflection. The trials came like waves, and in trying to stand, you started to feel like you were losing pieces of yourself along the way. But I need you to hear me clearly now. You haven't lost yourself. You've been becoming. And what I'm about to release into your life will reintroduce you to the version of you that pain tried to bury. You're not broken. You're becoming. You're not fading, you're forming. And now, child, get ready, because you're about to recognize yourself again. Do you remember the way your eyes used to light up with holy wonder? The boldness you carried when you were sure of my voice? The steadiness in your spirit before the betrayal, before the burnout, before the loneliness crept in like a fog? That fire, it never died. I've been guarding it. I've been breathing on the embers, even when you couldn't feel the heat. You are not the shell you've convinced yourself to settle into. You are still fire, still full of oil, still saturated with purpose. The you that danced in faith, that dreamed with me in the night, that declared truth even when surrounded by shadows. That version of you is not gone. He's writhing. He's awakening. And the glory I'm sending will call you back to your original design, before fear ever whispered its lies. You've carried the weight of survival, but now I'm clothing you in the garments of revival. Where you once dragged your feet, you'll now leap again. Where your voice trembled, it will now thunder. And it won't be forced. It won't be faked. It will feel like home. You'll look in the mirror, not and see weariness but wonder. Not loss but life. Not what's been stolen but what's been restored. This is the hour where identity is not only recovered, it is revealed. And you will find yourself saying things like, I feel like me again, or I forgot I could feel this alive. And when those words rise up in you, know this, that's me fulfilling my promise. You never lost your purpose. You just lost sight of it in the fog of warfare. And now, I'm clearing the way, not just so you can move forward, but so you can see yourself clearly again. So get ready to stand with strength you thought was gone. Get ready to laugh with joy you thought was lost. Get ready to walk into rooms with a kind of peace that doesn't flinch at pressure. Because you're not just returning to yourself, you're returning to the anointed version of yourself that pain tried to mute. And nothing, no trauma, no delay, no accusation, can cancel what I'm awakening now. You will recognize yourself again, but not through the lens of pain. You'll see yourself through the lens of purpose, through the clarity of calling, through the eyes of heaven. And when you do, you'll say, "This is who I was all along." Yes, child, this is your return. And the you that emerges now will carry more oil, more fire, more glory than ever before. My precious child, I know the weight you've carried that no one else could see. I watched you hold it with trembling hands and a steady heart. I saw you worship through questions, love through heartbreak, give through emptiness. I watched you choose me again and again when choosing me didn't come with applause. There were times you wanted someone to notice, just to say, "I see you." And child, I need you to know, I saw it all. A hidden faith, a quiet strength, the choices made in silence. And now, the time has come for what was carried in private to be confirmed in public. This isn't about seeking validation from people. This is about me vindicating your obedience in a way no man can deny. You didn't perform for a platform. You weren't motivated by recognition. You did it out of love. You bore burdens with grace, even when your own heart was breaking. You believed promises when others stopped believing with you. You prayed behind closed doors while others forgot your name. And now, beloved, I will bring those hidden sacrifices into the light, not to expose your struggle, but to exalt my glory through your story. Because what I do next will not be small. It will not be subtle. It will not be secret. It will be seen. And the same mouths that said, "Where is your God?" will witness what only I could do. Let me speak this clearly. You are about to be publicly honored for what you privately endured. The places that tried to suffocate your faith will become the very platforms where I display my favor. The same ground that soaked up your tears will soon echo with songs of joy. The wilderness that tried to swallow your identity will now amplify your anointing. I'm not just turning the page, I'm changing the volume. What was once whispered in prayer is about to be shouted through testimony. The seasons where you were overlooked will be overturned with overflow. The shame that tried to cling to your name will be shattered by the strength I'm releasing in you now. And you will walk into rooms where the atmosphere shifts, not because of your name, but because of mine resting upon you. So don't hide your light anymore. Don't shrink from the stage I've built with your obedience. This isn't about ego. It's about evidence. Evidence that I am faithful, that I reward in due time, that I do not forget the secret places, that I elevate those who humbled themselves in the shadows. Your private journey has been holy, and now your public reward will be heaven's declaration. It will be loud. It will be undeniable. It will carry my fragrance. Because you didn't chase the spotlight, I'm handing you the torch. And the world will see what I saw all along, that your heart was always mine, and that I, your God, never fail to honor those who carry the weight of faith when no one else is watching. Now lean in, child, because I need you to hear the war cry from heaven. The enemy is losing his grip on your life. I know he's tried to hold you down, tried to convince you that your story was stuck, tried to wrap you in cycles that felt unbreakable. But today, in the spirit, I'm tearing something open. I'm announcing what hell has tried to hide. His grip is weakening. His influence is breaking. The lies are unraveling. What once bound you is now bowing to my authority. This is not just the lifting of a burden. This is the breaking of a yoke. The enemy fought you because he saw what was coming, even before you did. He recognized the oil on your life, the favor forming around you, the fire in your bones. He hoped the confusion would drown your clarity. He hoped the trauma would shrink your trust. He hoped the weight would wear down your worship. But it didn't work. You're still here, still standing, still believing, still breathing. And child, that breath you're taking now is prophetic, because it's the breath of someone who is crossing over, from torment to triumph, from heaviness to healing, from warfare to witness. There are chains breaking that you didn't even know you were carrying. Mindsets are shifting. Strongholds are falling. Patterns that followed your family for generations are being uprooted because you dared to stand in the gap. You said, "Enough," and heaven responded, "I'm severing soul ties that drain your joy. I'm silencing voices that mimicked my tone but spoke deception. I'm snatching back territory that was always yours, but temporarily occupied by fear." This is not just relief. This is rescue. This is me reclaiming every space the enemy tried to mark as his own. And where his grip once held you, my glory will now rest upon you. So stand in this truth fully. Don't walk timidly into this freedom. Run into it. Don't apologize for it. Don't analyze it. Just receive it. You are not in bondage anymore. You are not under the curse. You are not trapped in cycles. You are free, and the enemy knows it. That's why he's desperate. That's why the warfare intensified right before the breakthrough. Because he knew this moment was coming. And now, it's here. You are stepping into a realm of favor, peace, and clarity that will make demons tremble. You're not walking with chains, you're walking with authority. You're not bound by what you came from. You're backed by who you belong to. And no force of hell can stop what I've already released. The grip is broken. The enemy has lost. And you, my child, are rising. Beloved, feel it. Even if your mind is unsure, even if your body still feels tired, your spirit already knows. The atmosphere around you is shifting. This isn't imagination. It's not wishful thinking. It's me. It's my breath moving through the air that once felt heavy with warfare. I've stepped into your environment. I'm touching the unseen. The air is no longer filled with residue from old battles. It's now charged with the fragrance of breakthrough. The atmosphere is no longer weighted with delay. It is pulsing with acceleration. Things that once resisted are starting to release. Conversations are turning. Circumstances are bowing. Invisible walls are crumbling. Not because you fought harder, but because I've declared, it's time. You've walked through rooms that felt like prisons. You've tried to breathe in places where hope was suffocating. But I have now released a shift, a divine recalibration of everything around you. Your home, your work, your relationships, your spiritual spaces, they are all being realigned to my presence. You'll start to notice things. People you used to tolerate will feel like sandpaper to your spirit. Words that once wounded you will bounce off like sparks on water. You won't feel tied to what no longer fits your calling, because I'm raising the spiritual temperature. You're not the same person who walked into this season. You've been marked by the wilderness, branded by endurance, carved out by communion. And now, the atmosphere must shift to match who you've become. Even your thoughts are going to start sounding different. The inner critic will be silenced. The soundtrack of shame will be muted. Where fear used to echo, faith will now roar. Where doubt once lingered, destiny will declare itself. You'll find yourself walking through rooms with more authority. You will question your worth and more. The weight of insecurity is lifting, not because you found new strategies, but because you finally made space for my spirit to reign. This is what happens when I take over the atmosphere. I don't just clean it, I consecrate it. I don't just sweep it, I saturate it. And you're going to feel it in the way people respond to you, in the sudden flow of favor, in the clarity that comes without striving, in the peace that enters without explanation. This is what it feels like when the king walks into the room. So be sensitive now. Pay attention to the cues. The spiritual climate has changed, and it's calling you higher. You'll feel drawn to prayer without effort. Worship will erupt from you like breath. Discernment will sharpen. Words will carry more weight. Your steps will be directed by instincts you can't explain. That's me. That's the Spirit of the Lord hovering over you like never before. You've lived under spiritual drought long enough. But now you've crossed into a new realm. This is the realm where things move swiftly, where answers arrive quickly, where doors open naturally because the environment obeys me. Get ready. The change is not just internal, it's atmospheric. You are not just walking into good news, you are walking in a new atmosphere of glory. Listen closely, child, because this word is sacred. What you lost is looking for you again. I'm not just restoring things. I'm sending back what was stolen, and it will come searching for you. What you had to release because the season shifted, what was ripped away by circumstances you couldn't control, what you buried because it hurt too much to hope, it's coming back. But it will return empty. It won't come back the same. It will come back redeemed, refined, realigned, and it will fit your life now, not the one you were trying to survive in before. The blessing that left in sorrow is returning in strength. The dream that died in disappointment is returning with clarity. This is not just full circle, this is fullness redeemed by fire. You've mourned what felt like permanent losses. People who walked away. Opportunities that dissolved without warning. Moments you thought you missed forever. I heard every why, whispered in the dark. But let me say this with the authority of eternity. Nothing that I ordained for your life can truly be lost. If it was meant for you, it will return blessed. If it wasn't, I've already replaced it with something better. But many of the things you thought were gone for good, they were simply in transit. I had to hold them back while I refined you. I had to recalibrate their timing while I strengthened your foundation. And now, with the timing of heaven and the rhythm of redemption, they are coming back. But hear me, they are not coming back to the old version of you. They are coming back to the one who has been battle-tested, storm-washed, and glory-hardened. You won't fumble them this time. You won't sabotage them out of insecurity. You will question if you're worthy of them. The new you is ready. You've been rewired by warfare. You've been purged by predator. You've learned the weight of wisdom. And now, the very things you let go of in grief are about to come back wrapped in grace. You'll look around in awe as doors open that were once sealed, as connections rekindle without striving, as favor falls in places where you once faced failure, because this is the God of return, not as it was but as it should be. So prepare your spirit, not with anxiety but with expectation, because the knock you're about to hear is not trouble, it's treasure. The footsteps approaching are not threats, they are promises. The encounters ahead are not coincidences, they are orchestrated reintroductions. And when they come, don't flinch. Don't doubt it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just receive, with open hands, with a trusting heart, with the knowing that this is not random. This is restoration on a divine schedule. The things you thought were over are just beginning again. And this time, they're not just returning to you, They're returning with glory. Child, there is something sacred I must reveal to you. Something happening beyond the reach of your eyes, but not beyond the reach of your destiny. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't stepped into yet. While you've been faithfully sowing, praying, enduring, and showing up without applause, I've been moving. Behind the veil, behind the scenes, in conversations you weren't invited to yet. I've been dropping your name into the mouths of decision makers. I've been stirring hearts to remember you. I've been positioning people, orchestrating moments, aligning networks, all while you simply stayed faithful. This is not karma. This is not coincidence. This is covenant. You see, I honor what man forgets. I reward what man overlooks. While you were laboring in what felt like obscurity, I was preparing honor to meet you publicly. The people talking about you right now are not gossiping. They are advocating. They are feeling the nudge of my spirit, even if they don't fully understand why. Some of them don't even know your face, but they will know your name, because I placed it on their hearts. They are waking up with ideas about you. They are circling back to old conversations and suddenly realizing, we need them. This is how I work. I make room. I don't just open doors, I cause doors to seek you out. Let this truth anchor you. You won't have to manipulate your way into the blessing. You won't need to strive, to network in desperation, to prove your worth in rooms that don't carry your name in their foundation. I've already gone ahead of you. My spirit is your reference. My presence is your promotion. And the rooms you're about to walk into will not feel like coincidence. They will feel like confirmation. It will be divine déjà vu. Your heart will recognize the moment before your mind catches up. You'll step in, and peace will say, you were meant to be here. Because I don't just prepare the table, I prepare you for the table. So be at peace, child. Don't panic if it feels like nothing is shifting. The shift has already begun. Just because you haven't heard the conversation doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because you haven't walked through the door doesn't mean it's not opening. Your name is in the atmosphere now, saturated with grace, covered in favor, marked by heaven. And when the invitation comes, don't question it. Don't minimize yourself. Don't say, why me? Say, yes, Lord. Because this isn't random. It's reward. You're not lucky, you're loved. And every hidden act of obedience has now echoed into places of influence. Yes, child, get ready. You're about to enter rooms that already know your name, because I sent it ahead of you. The pages are turning, the story is shifting, and now I ask you to help me place this same good news into the hands of others who feel forgotten. There are still hearts trapped in the hallway, still souls waiting for their door to open. Will you send my voice to them? Your gift is more than support. It's a divine ripple. It becomes a river of light flowing into barren places. He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed, and I will see to it that your oil never runs dry. Join me in this harvest through Super Thanks membership with the link I've set below. Don't wait. The field is ripe, and I've chosen you to carry the seed. Come closer now, beloved, because I'm not just changing your situation. I'm cleansing your spirit. I'm removing the residue of the last season, the dust of discouragement, the stain of sorrow, the invisible grime of shame that tried to settle on you, the heaviness that became normal, the emotional fatigue you didn't even know you were carrying. You see, when you walk through long battles, especially ones that feel endless, it's not just the wounds that hurt. It's the residue that lingers, the subtle exhaustion, the quiet dread, the internal fog that whispers, even if good things come, will I even feel them? And I want you to know, I see that too. You've pushed through like a warrior, but underneath that strength, there's been a residue trying to dull your joy, drain your hope, and discolor your perspective. But child, I'm coming now like a holy wind, not just to bring blessing, but to blow away the remnants of what was. I'm removing the aftertaste of disappointment. I'm cleansing the spiritual palate so that what I pour next will be received with fresh awe. You won't have to fake your joy this time. You won't have to force your gratitude. I'm not just changing what's around you. I'm renewing what's within you. This is more than a reset. This is a re-sanctification. Even now, I am rinsing your soul with peace. I am brushing off the trauma that tried to cling. The fears that once whispered, what if it all falls apart again? I'm silencing them. The patterns that once triggered panic, I'm breaking them. You will not bring the dust of the desert into the sanctuary of your promise. This next season requires a fresh garment, a clean slate. And I'm not expecting you to do that by willpower. I'm doing it by spirit. I'm bathing your soul in oil. I'm anointing your thoughts with light. I'm purifying the atmosphere of your mind until what felt like survival becomes sanctuary. So don't be afraid of the stillness. It's me, cleansing. Don't be surprised by the tears. They are sacred waters, rinsing the residue away. Don't be alarmed if old feelings resurface. It's not regression. It's removal. I'm pulling things up by the root so they no longer rule you. And when I'm done, you will emerge radiant. Not just relieved but restored. Not just hopeful but holy. You'll walk into the good news I'm sending not with weariness, but with wonder. And everyone who sees you will say, they look different. And they'll be right. Because when I remove residue, I don't just cleanse, I glorify. You're not just being delivered, you're being drenched in divine renewal. Child, feel the shift. The tempo of heaven is quickening around you. The pace of my purpose is picking up. Where things once crawled, now they will catapult. What took years in the past will suddenly take days. I am turning the pages of your story faster now, not because I'm rushing, but because you're ready. You've endured the long chapters. You stood through the slow, silent paragraphs where nothing seemed to move. But those pages were necessary. They carried the depth of your development, the weight of your becoming. And now, you've reached the part where acceleration is holy. I'm not skipping the process. I'm rewarding your patience with divine momentum. You see, I never forgot what you asked me. I never overlooked your longing. I was simply writing the kind of story that lasts. I was crafting a testimony with roots deep enough to sustain the fruit I'm about to release. I wasn't slow, I was thorough. But now, we're turning the page. The winds of my spirit are flipping to the next scene, and what used to take effort will now flow. What felt stuck will now snap into place. What seemed forgotten will now be fast-tracked. I'm sending sudden phone calls, unexpected alignments, divine interruptions, and you will need to strive to make it happen, because I've already written it. The page is already turned. The plot is already shifting. Don't be surprised if people start coming back, not because you chased them, but because favor is chasing you. Don't be confused when long-standing doors suddenly swing open. They weren't delayed because you were disqualified. They were being preserved until your character could carry the calling. You're about to experience a divine pace that may feel unfamiliar at first. It may even feel overwhelming, but it's me. I'm not just moving fast. I'm moving with finality. Things that lingered in limbo are being resolved. Cycles are being completed. Long-standing warfare is being shut down with a single word from my mouth. And in the blink of an eye, you'll realize the page didn't just turn, the entire chapter closed. To hold on, not in fear but in faith. Because this is a pace you don't have to manage, it's one you just flow with. You'll know it's me because peace will follow every shift. You'll feel clarity in your bones. You'll sense grace going before you. And when you look back, it will feel like a blur, not because it wasn't real, but because I made it supernatural. The days of dragging are over. The season of standing still has ended. And now, the story speeds up. Now, the scenes move swiftly. Now, I'm turning the pages with the rhythm of redemption, and every turn brings you closer to the fulfillment that was written from the beginning. Get ready. I'm not just moving. I'm moving fast. My child, do you remember what it felt like to laugh without weight in your chest? To feel joy so real it made your eyes shine again? I do. I remember. I remember the purity of your laughter before life tried to quiet it. I remember the echo of it in the heavenlies, and I miss it. But I want you to hear me now. I'm putting laughter back in your mouth. Not the forced kind. Not the guarded kind. Not the kind that hides pain behind polite smiles. I'm talking about holy laughter, the kind that erupts when impossible things become possible. The kind that bubbles up from a deep well because sorrow no longer owns the space joy was meant to dwell in. You've cried long enough. You've carried disappointment like a silent companion, pretending you were fine when your heart still grieved. You've smiled in rooms where you felt invisible. You've encouraged others while secretly wondering if your own joy had expired. But I've been watching, holding every silent ache. And now, I say this as your father, your joy is being resurrected. I am restoring what laughter tried to survive without. I am healing the undercurrent of grief that sat beneath every "I'm okay." And when I bring this next wave of good news, it won't just bless your circumstances. It will baptize your emotions. Yes, child, I'm going after the emotional places too. The ones hardened by disappointment. The ones numbed by survival. Because you weren't created to fake joy. You were made to feel it. To host it. To carry it like a crown. This is why I've delayed some things. Not to torment you, but so I could restore the capacity to receive joy when it comes. What good is a miracle if your heart doesn't have the strength to celebrate it? But now, I'm rebuilding that strength. I'm softening the edges again. I'm warming what grew cold. You'll find yourself laughing again. Suddenly, unexpectedly, sincerely. And you'll know, this is not just emotion. This is the evidence of a heart made whole. So when the laughter returns, don't silence it. Don't question it. Don't tell yourself it won't last. Let it flow. Let it cleanse. Let it prophesy. Because sometimes joy is a warfare weapon. Sometimes laughter is a battle cry against the dark. And what I'm releasing now will cause you to laugh in a way that silences every lie. Every mocking spirit. Every whisper that told you it was too late. And people around you will notice. They'll say, "You seem lighter." And you will smile, not because you're pretending, but because you're finally free. This is your season of divine laughter, of unexpected joy, of redeemed delight. Yes, child, I'm putting laughter back in your mouth, and it's going to sound like victory. Beloved, listen to me with your spirit wide open, because what I'm about to say will require you to release the lens of the past so you can embrace the fullness of the future. The next door will not look like the last one, and you must not let the familiarity of former seasons cause you to misread what's coming. I am doing something new, unprecedented, unpredictable, not reckless but radical. You are not stepping into a recycled blessing. You are walking into a divinely reauthored reality, one that refuses to be patterned after pain or limited by what once was. Do not expect the door to look like the last one you knocked on. Do not assume it will feel familiar. I'm not repeating. I'm redeeming. You see, I allowed certain doors to close abruptly, not to hurt you, but to unhook you from definitions that could not hold the glory I'm about to pour. I didn't let you get comfortable there, because you were never meant to stay there. I know you grieved what you thought would be permanent. I know you questioned why the thing that seemed so certain suddenly ended. But child, I was protecting you from a good thing that would have blocked a God thing. I was severing ties with yesterday's almost so I could bring you into tomorrow's abundantly more. If I left that door open, you would have settled. You would have made a home in a hallway, and you would have missed what was still being constructed. So now, I need your eyes clear, your spirit alert. Because when this next door opens, and it won't look like what you've prepared for. It won't fit your past experiences. It will match your mental blueprint. But it will fit your spirit. It will fit your oil. It will fit your anointing. And you will know it's me because peace will flood your chest. Not because it makes sense, but because it feels like alignment. Don't reject it because it's new. Don't delay it because it's unfamiliar. Don't question it because it doesn't look like what you imagined. I'm not just opening a door. I'm redefining what doors even look like for someone called by my name. And when you walk through it, you'll look back and finally understand why the last one had to close. You'll whisper, "Thank you, Lord," not just because I made a way, but because I made a better way. And every pain from the last season will feel worth it. Every delay will make sense, because you will see that I wasn't trying to frustrate your faith. I was fortifying it for this moment. So child, open your hands, clear your expectations, and say yes. Yes to the door that doesn't look like the last one. Yes to the new sound, the new place, the new people, the new purpose. This is the season where I surprise you with strategy, where I lead you through gates designed only for your feet. This is the moment where you discover the door didn't just open to you, it opened for you. Now breathe, my child, because this final word is a holy decree. It's not a metaphor. It's not a maybe. It's a promise. You're about to testify like never before. What's coming won't just shift your season. It will reshape your story. It will be too good to keep it quiet, too precise to pass off as coincidence, too beautiful to explain without saying my name. The kind of testimony that makes jaws drop, that makes people ask, how did that happen? That makes even your enemies take notice. The kind that makes you cry and dance in the same breath. The kind that births revival in anyone who hears it, because it carries the unmistakable fingerprints of the living God. You've been faithful with a little. You've whispered prayers with cracked voices and lifted praise with trembling hands. And I received it all. I bottled every tear. I measured every sacrifice. I remembered every night you chose me over compromise. And now, it's my turn. My turn to show you that I am not only the God of silent seasons, I am the God of sudden testimonies. I don't just work behind the scenes. I break through the screen. I step into your timeline and turn it upside down with one word, one moment, one miracle. You waited. You hope. You dared to believe. And now, it's happening. But hear me. This testimony isn't just for your encouragement. It's for impact. I'm about to use your life as a loudspeaker for my goodness. People who were ready to give up will hear your story and find strength again. People who forgot how to dream will start daring again. You're not just getting a breakthrough, you're becoming the evidence that breakthrough is real. I'm about to give you a story that no one can steal. A story that carries weight in the spirit, that silences lies, that heals hearts, that builds altars. You'll speak of me not just from theology, but from experience. From the kind of encounter that leaves no doubt, God did this. So get ready to open your mouth. Get ready to tell it. You write it. To weep over it. To laugh in disbelief because it actually happened. The doors that open. The healing that manifests. The provision that shows up unannounced. The restoration that feels like resurrection. You're going to testify, and you won't need to embellish a word. Because my glory doesn't need makeup. My miracles don't need marketing. They stand on their own, dripping in divine evidence. Yes, child, this is the moment. Your story is turning. Your voice is rising. Your testimony is being written. And it will be undeniable. You heard my word. You felt it in your spirit. The turning, the confirmation, the arrival of good news. Now, I'm inviting you to become part of how this glory spreads. Your still voices trembling in silence still lives in the valley of dry bones. Your giving is not just help, it's holy warfare. It becomes a trumpet blast in someone's midnight hour. I see every gift, and I multiply it with the measure of heaven, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not a request. It's a divine summons. Use the super thanks, membership, or the link I've prepared, and sow now into the river that's already flowing. I will honor it with fire, favor, and fulfillment. Before you go, child, pause and seal this moment. Don't let this word pass like a whisper in the wind. Declare it. Mark it. Prophecy with your own mouth. I'm ready for good news. Yes, write it below. Let your comment be a stake in the ground, a signal to heaven, and a warning to hell that your faith is standing tall. When you write it, you're not just typing, you're testifying. So speak it out loud below, and let every demon and every delay know your good news has found you. And as your declaration rises, heaven bends low to listen. The moment your faith took form in words, the Father began to respond in whispers. That's how every miracle begins, not in noise but in nearness. Stay in that posture of expectancy. The same God who heard your cry is now about to speak into your calm. What you just declared in faith, He's now confirming in love. Hearken, my beloved child, to the gentle whisper that precedes every great blessing I have prepared just for you. Open your heart wide, and let my quiet voice settle the storm of hurried thoughts that has been stealing your peace. This moment of stillness in your soul is the single most important receiving ground for the divine revelation I am pouring out right now. I know you have been waiting, my precious one, and I declare the cessation of your weeping. Wipe your tears away and feel the dawn of joyous anticipation breaking over your life, for your new season has begun. You have carried the heavy burden of worry for too long, haven't you? I have seen that knot of anxiety in your stomach. That is not from me. Let me gently undo it together with you now. Understand that your preparation for this breakthrough is simply your open heart, not your strenuous, perfect performance or your endless striving. I do not demand perfection from you, my child. I simply ask for your willing presence and your trust. You have tried to earn my favor, feeling that you must fix every flaw before you can receive my goodness. Stop. Cease your self-imposed penance and receive my grace, which is enough to cover all your shortcomings. Every single promise I have spoken over you, whether whispered in prayer or declared in my sacred word, is now accelerating with divine speed toward its fulfillment. You will no longer measure time by the slow calendar of man, but by the swift, purposeful chronology of your Creator. Do not doubt the evidence of your own feelings, my child, as you sense the shift beneath your feet. Believe, with an unshakable confidence that comes only from me, that this very moment marks a profound and visible turning point in your journey. You are no longer where you were yesterday. I am turning the page on your chapter of struggle and frustration, and you are stepping into a narrative defined by my favor and undeniable goodness. I see the pressure building at your job. You fear being overlooked. You worry that your hard work goes unnoticed by human eyes. I tell you today, I see every effort, every sacrifice, every late night, and every moment of integrity. Your human boss may overlook you, but I, your heavenly Father, do not. Your promotion and increase will come not from the hand of man, but from my hand of sovereign favor. You have prayed silently for relief, my beloved, and my answer is now manifesting in your reality. I am dismantling the stronghold of discouragement that has tried to convince you to give up, to walk away, to settle for less than my very best. Fight back against that lie. Your destiny is too grand, and the anointing upon your life is too strong to be wasted on small expectations. I am calling you up higher now, my child. Rise up and put on the garment of expectation, for the clothes of mourning no longer suit you. You are an heir, a royal son or daughter, and my love for you is fierce, unchanging, and eternally committed to your highest good. Do not let the past mistakes or the past failures, which I have already forgotten and forgiven, blind you to the brilliance of the future I have established for you. You are my masterpiece, my beloved work of art, and your unveiling is at hand. Close your eyes right now, my child, and take a deep, cleansing breath. Feel the peace that transcends all your current understanding. I am calling you to that quiet pause you need before a great, transforming storm of blessing breaks open over your life. That stillness, that deep breath, is your simple act of receiving. Let the clamor of the world fall silent, and let my words echo in the deepest chambers of your heart. I am speaking directly to the unspoken tensions in your family, the fear of the future that keeps you awake at night, and the silent prayer for restoration that you sent up yesterday. I heard it all, and my response is this good news that is right at your doorstep. Stand firm, my beloved, and know this truth above all others. I am here, I am for you, and your victory is absolutely certain. My beloved, now that I have quieted the initial storms in your soul, we must focus on the vessel that is about to receive my massive outpouring of goodness. This isn't about proving your worth. It's about maximizing your capacity for joy and peace. Therefore, I speak to you now with the urgency of a father preparing his child for a magnificent, life-altering gift. Empty yourself of all lingering doubt, for it is the cunning thief of your impending joy. Doubt whispers lies, that you are not ready, that you do not deserve this, or that this blessing is too good to be true. Reject that voice immediately. Command it to retreat, because I am giving you something real, something tangible, that will transform your circumstances. You must forgive every past offense, my child, just as I have already forgiven you with my limitless love and grace. Holding on to bitterness is like keeping old, dusty clutter in the rooms of your heart. It leaves no space for the new mercies and fresh beginnings I want to bring. Let the resentment go, even if it feels justified. Release the anger toward that person at your work who betrayed your trust, or the family member whose words wounded you deeply. Unclench your hands from that pain. True liberation starts when you choose forgiveness, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve the freedom and peace it brings. Rejoice right now in the present peace I am pouring over you, knowing with absolute certainty that my power perfects what concerns you, even the matters that keep you pacing at night. You do not have to see the completed miracle to feel the confidence of my presence. I am working behind the scenes, orchestrating details, lining up the resources, and shifting the people required for your testimony. Examine your faith, my beloved, strengthen your assurance of my immutable faithfulness. Think back on the darkest moments when you cried out and I answered. Those moments are your proof that I am the same God yesterday, today, and forever. Remember my pattern of deliverance. Make a conscious, strong decision this hour to walk in alignment with my righteous will, not as a duty, but as a joyful privilege. This is your simple path to genuine, lasting happiness and success. Do not waste your valuable energy on trivial disputes or empty endeavors that lead you away from me and your purpose. Guard your heart, my child, for out of it flows the fountain of life. The clutter of anxiety, the endless what-ifs that try to choke your hope, clear them out. The greatest news, the most life-changing shift, requires the purest and most ready reception from your spirit. Prepare the way for the King of Glory to enter your situation. I want you to be ready to step into the increase I am bringing without hesitation or doubt. I know you have struggled with the feeling of inadequacy, the lie that you are not capable of managing the great things I want to bestow upon you. Do not believe the adversary of your peace. I have given you gifts, talents, and a mind ready for wisdom. The increase I am bringing is not a burden, it is empowerment. I will grant you the wisdom you need for stewardship, the insight for decisions, and the discernment to protect your blessings. You will not fail, because I will not let you walk this path alone. I am right there, every single moment, guiding your steps and steadying your hand. This conversation is your preparation, my precious one. I am speaking directly into your daily worries, removing the obstacles in your mind so that when the breakthrough arrives, and it will arrive suddenly, you receive it with joy and not shock. Open your hands wide now and receive the spirit of readiness I offer you. This is your time to shine, my child, to embody the quiet confidence of one who is fully loved and divinely favored. Your peace is your power, and I am the source of both. Look now, my beloved, and see the reality of your spiritual security. The enemy's vicious attempts to discourage you, to fill your mind with baseless threats and fear, all of that is nullified by the power of the blood of the Lamb, my Son, Jesus. His sacrifice was absolute. Your deliverance is final. Do not let your mind fear what my Son has already defeated. That persistent worry about threats and gossip you keep hearing, that feeling of vulnerability, it is a lie designed to rob you of your confidence. You are not vulnerable. You are divinely protected. Rest now, deeply, in the shadow of my mighty wings. Know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that no weapon formed against you, whether it be a verbal attack, a hidden scheme, a financial downfall, or an illness, shall prosper or succeed in its aim to harm your destiny. Your life is not subject to chance or the malice of others. It is secured by my covenant love. Your history with me confirms my established pattern. I have always delivered my faithful people from all trouble, even when they brought trouble upon themselves. Remember the times you felt cornered, hopeless and completely without a way out. I was there, making a path, breaking down barriers, and turning the impossible into the immediate. Those are not mere memories. They are anchors of assurance. Wear the full armor of light every single day, my child, for your victory has already been secured, bought, and paid for. You are walking into a battle that has already been won. The attacks you face now are simply the defeated foe's final, desperate attempt to steal your peace before the massive good news arrives. Stand firm in the truth of your protection. Do not yield to the pressure. Do not turn back now when you are so close to the finish line of this struggle. Know deeply that even in this period of waiting, this last moment of stillness before the great surge, you are not vulnerable or exposed. You are completely and utterly shielded. I have surrounded you with my presence, and I have dispatched my warrior angels to encamp around your home, guarding your every dream and watching over your every step. The good news that is coming is not just a blessing or a material gain, my beloved. It is a permanent, visible demonstration of my fierce defense of you. Those who mocked you, those who whispered rumors and tried to bring you down, they will be forced to witness my hand of favor openly resting upon you. I see the exhaustion in your eyes, my child, the weariness that comes from constantly fighting invisible battles. I want you to surrender that weariness to me right now. Let me carry that heavy load for you. The battle is mine, and your part is simply to trust and be still. The complex issues you face, the legal hurdles, the financial pressures that seem insurmountable, these are small things in the face of my infinite power. I handle the impossible. I command the earth, the heavens, and the very forces of opposition to yield to my purpose for your life. I am building a hedge of protection around your family, your finances, and your very soul. And no sickness will settle, no lack will linger, and no confusion will remain. The enemy underestimated you, my child. He thought you were too weak, that you would surely turn away from me in your distress. But you chose to hold fast to your faith, and that unwavering loyalty has released my overwhelming, supernatural favor upon your life. Rejoice in the certainty of your defense, and walk forward with the boldness of a champion. I am your unwavering shield, and I will never leave you. My precious child, pay close attention to the movements I am making in the spiritual realm on your behalf. I am actively shifting your spiritual latitude right now to intersect precisely with the inevitable flow of increase and opportunity I have planned for you. This means the things that once seemed far off are now rapidly drawing near. Your environment is changing, and you must prepare to move with me. I command you to let go of outdated strategies, my child. Those old ways of thinking and striving that only led to exhaustion and disappointment. Stop trying to force outcomes with your own limited strength. I am giving you new divine blueprints, fresh ideas, and creative solutions that will defy human logic and bring rapid success. Open your mind to the new ideas I am planting. These new directions will feel inspired, simple, and overwhelmingly right. They are the pathways to your abundance. Observe closely the quiet, clear promptings of my Holy Spirit in the coming days, for I am leading you precisely to the exact place of blessing I have prepared. Listen for the inner conviction, the gentle nudges that tell you where to go, whom to speak to, or what decision to make. This sensitivity to my guidance will be the true determinant of your receiving. Your current circumstances, no matter how challenging or limited they may seem, are merely the necessary platform for your next great, public testimony of my faithfulness. Do not despise the struggle you are in. It is the very launchpad for your elevation. The greater the struggle, the more magnificent the victory. I want you to know that I am actively restoring the years the locusts of worry, doubt, and loss have eaten. I am not just giving you back what you lost. I am multiplying your harvest exponentially. You will look back and realize that the years of waiting were not wasted time, but a period of intense, fruitful preparation for this very moment. Expect rapid transformation and elevation that will move you far beyond your current sightline, far past the limitations you could previously see. This repositioning is designed to place you in a place of influence and authority that will shock those who once doubted you. I am calling you to step out of the limited box you have built for yourself. Your dreams were too small, my child. You settled for modest desires when I have prepared a feast of blessings for you. Broaden your horizons now and dream bigger. Trust that the talents and gifts I placed within you are fully capable of handling the great increase I am bringing. I am placing you in rooms you once only dreamed of entering. I am connecting you with the exact people who will pour wisdom and open doors for your future. You feel that strong pull to change your routines, don't you? That desire to be more disciplined, to dedicate more time to me and to your purpose. That is me, my child, preparing you for the demands of the blessing. Follow that inward leading. The acceleration I am initiating requires your readiness, your focus, and your clear connection to my spirit. I am making your path clear, straight, and perfectly navigable. You will walk with a confidence and purpose that will be undeniable to everyone who sees you. This is not luck or mere coincidence. This is my divine choreography, my perfect plan for your life unfolding with speed and precision. Embrace this acceleration, my beloved, and move with my spirit. My child, let us move to a powerful place of remembrance now. I am performing an active miracle of memory within you, bringing to your conscious mind the specific words of comfort and power that I spoke to you long ago, perhaps even years past. I speak of the promises you wrote down and then tucked away, the prophecies you received and then forgot, the words that sustained you in the lean seasons. Remember them. Those promises, though they may have seemed dormant, asleep, or delayed, are now poised for sudden, powerful activation. They are not just old memories, my child. They are living seeds of my eternal truth, and they are now ready to spring forth into your physical reality. Recall the fierce, tenacious faith that sustained you when you had absolutely nothing else to hold on to, when you were walking through the dry, difficult wilderness. That same faith, that gritty, unwavering belief that I was working even when you couldn't see it, is now your strength for this new season of massive abundance. Activate that memory. I command you, my beloved, to search the scriptures, open my written word, and seek out the truths I have laid down for you. Let my immutable word reinforce the absolute certainty of your good outcome, the perfect manifestation of the news you are waiting for. You will find the exact phrase, the precise scripture that perfectly aligns with the promise I gave you. The confirmation you seek, the final sign that this is truly my doing, is found within the undeniable records of my past faithfulness to you and to all my children. Understand this profound truth. The delay you perceived was never a denial. It was a divine setup for a greater, more glorious unveiling. I was refining you, preparing your character, and maximizing the reward. The greater the trial, the more significant the blessing that follows. You have persevered, my child. You have endured the test of your spirit, and now you are ready for the reward. Rejoice in the perfection of my timing. I am taking that memory of the painful time, the failure that wounded your heart, and I am rewriting the end of that story. I am replacing the memory of what failed with the certainty of what will succeed. This breakthrough is not a one-time event. It is a permanent memorial to my glory in your life, silencing every critic and erasing every doubt. The time for questioning is over, my child. The time for manifestation has begun. Look closely at the doors of opportunity that are opening now. They may not look like you expected. They may appear in the mundane details of your everyday life, but they bear my signature. Listen to the small, inner voice that tells you to speak to that person, to apply for that position, or to take that leap of faith. These are the signs of my promise illuminating your path. Step out with courage, my child, for you are walking on the certainty of my spoken word. I have given you the strength, the wisdom, and the assurance you need. Now, take action and receive your unforgettable good news. Pause now, my beloved. You stand at the precise moment of acceleration, the point where the promise illuminates the path. To turn back now, to let the world's noise drown out the clarity I have just poured into you, would not just be a failure of will, but a profound disappointment to my waiting heart. I have unveiled the blueprint for your deliverance. Do not grieve my spirit by shrinking from this destiny. Your continued faith right now is your most fervent act of worship. Listen again, and let my unwavering truth settle the ground beneath your feet. My beloved, I want you to grasp the immense magnitude of the good news I am bringing you. This is not just a blessing for your present comfort. This is a permanent, foundational shift that will establish a completely new legacy for all your descendants, for generations yet to come. You are the one I have chosen to break the cycle. I am using your faith, your perseverance, and your humble trust in me to rewrite your family's history from this day forward. I am actively severing the stubborn roots of scarcity, chronic lack, fear, and emotional bondage that have tried to bind your family line for decades. I am cutting through the spiritual and emotional cords of poverty, doubt, and misfortune that have been passed down unknowingly. I am permanently dismantling that generational bondage now. In its place, I am installing a magnificent tree of perpetual provision, spiritual prosperity, and unbreakable peace in your house. This is my promise, and my word is true. Your personal breakthrough is the powerful undoing of those negative patterns, the recurring struggles, the financial ceilings, the moments of discord that have continually resurfaced in your family line. The enemy used those generational limitations to discourage you, but I am turning that entire history into a testimony of my redeeming power. You must consciously step across the threshold from the curse of lack and limitation into the overwhelming, open blessing of my overflow and abundance. Your past no longer dictates your future or the future of your children. I have designated you, my faithful child, as the divine gate opener for wealth, healing, and spiritual prosperity in your house. You are the one who will stand up, speak my word, and command a new season of favor to manifest. Your unwavering commitment to me, even in the toughest trials, has earned this monumental change for your entire lineage. Embrace this sacred calling and walk in this new authority. You are not just a recipient, you are a channel of my grace. I am giving you the authority to command generational good news to manifest immediately. When you speak my words over your children and grandchildren, those words carry the weight of my divine promise. Speak words of abundance, health, and faith over them, rejecting the language of worry and limitation. You will lay a foundation of spiritual, emotional, and financial stability that your family has never known. This profound good news is my clear, powerful statement to the forces of darkness and the spirits of lack. This family is mine, and from this moment forward, they are abundantly blessed. Therefore, my beloved, do not be afraid of this magnitude of blessing. Do not feel unworthy of carrying such a great responsibility. I have equipped you, and I will continue to guide you with the wisdom needed to manage this generational legacy. Your success will inspire your children to seek me, knowing that their provision and peace come directly from their Almighty God. Rise up, my champion. Your victory is the foundation of their destiny, and the chains of the past are shattered forever, never to bind you again. My precious child, now that you understand the generational impact of what is coming, I want you to shift your focus to the practical, physical manifestation of this good news. I am telling you to look specifically for opportunities that utterly defy human logic, those unexpected openings that make no sense to the natural mind. Those are the moments that bear my distinct, undeniable divine signature. Doors that were previously shut firmly in your face, pathways you thought were permanently blocked, and resources you didn't even know existed will now swing wide open through my intense, active favor upon you. I am removing the impossible from your vocabulary and replacing it with the immediately achievable. I know you struggled to gain access to certain places, certain circles, certain resources that were necessary for your next step. I am granting you supernatural access now. I am maneuvering things in your favor so that you enter rooms you could never have achieved through sheer human striving or intellect alone. The right people, those specific individuals holding the key to your increase, promotion, and next phase, are being divinely directed toward you. You may run into them unexpectedly, receive a sudden call, or find yourself in a meeting you never planned for. Be alert and pay attention to these divine appointments. Your breakthrough will be wrapped up in the connections I am establishing for you right now. Do not hesitate for a second to step into the unexpected path I now lay before you, even if it feels like a giant leap of faith. Trust my guidance more than your comfort zone. Every single barrier you have been facing, the bureaucratic red tape, the legal obstacles, the systemic opposition, the lack of necessary funds, is now being actively dismantled by the mighty, invisible hand of your God. I am clearing the path for your total success. You will witness the defeat of every opposition with your own eyes, and those who tried to stop you will see my favor resting undeniably upon you. This is not a contest. This is my sovereign will being established in your life. Remember that I am a God of abundance, not scarcity. The increase and the opportunities I am bringing are not just enough. They will be an overflow, providing you with surplus so you can bless others and expand my kingdom purposes. This is the time to exercise your faith in a big way. Do not talk yourself out of the blessing because it seems too large. Do not diminish the miracle I am placing in your hands. The opportunity is grand because my love for you is boundless, and my plan for your life is enormous. Take my hand, my beloved, and walk through that miraculously opened door into your season of incredible, improbable success. My beloved child, let us sit together now in this quiet room of your heart, for I wish to tenderly address the places where previous hurts still linger. I see the invisible scars left by past disappointments, the rejection, the unexpected loss, the moments when you invested everything and received nothing in return. Do you feel that familiar ache, that sting of regret or betrayal, when you recall those difficult times? I want you to know that the pain of those previous losses is being miraculously redeemed right now into the profound, resilient strength of your current faith. Your current breakthrough is being built on the foundation of the very ground you thought you lost. I am actively replacing the raw, agonizing memory of what failed with the unshakable certainty of what will succeed in this new season. That business venture that crumbled, the relationship that broke, the opportunity that closed its door. Those experiences were not a measure of your worth, my child. They were a preparation of your character. I want you to allow my Holy Spirit to gently, yet permanently, cauterize the hurts that might try to sneak back and steal your present burgeoning joy. Do not let the defeated past veto the victorious future I have established for you. The adversary delights in bringing those bitter memories to the surface, hoping to convince you that this new blessing will fail just like the last time. Silence that lie with the power of my promise. Understand this truth deeply. Those previous closed doors and unexpected turns were not random acts of misfortune. They were, in many cases, my loving, sovereign protection, shielding you from lesser, fleeting blessings that would have detained you from the greater glory I intended. I was saving you for this moment, for this magnitude of increase, and for this level of peace. Your heart, my precious one, is being actively renewed, made whole, resilient, and perfectly ready to receive the immense joy and staggering responsibility of this good news. This revelation is not a temporary fix. It will serve as a permanent, enduring balm to all your emotional and spiritual scars. I know you feel that apprehension, that quiet voice that asks, what if this beautiful thing fails? 2. I command you to look at my constant presence in your life. Did I leave you during the devastation? Did I abandon you when the betrayal was sharpest? I was there, holding you, sustaining you, and turning that suffering into the very soil for your current miracle. Take my hand now and trust the healer of your soul. I am the only one who can take the broken fragments of your life and weave them into a tapestry of undeniable beauty and meaning. You have been carrying the wounds of past disappointment like heavy armor, my child, believing that the pain would somehow protect you from future hurt. But that armor is heavy, and it prevents you from moving with the agility I require for this accelerated destiny. Lay that heavy, unnecessary weight at my feet right now. Your protection comes not from your scars, but from my unwavering, fiery love that encircles you like an impenetrable shield. You are free from the tyranny of the past. You are liberated from the need to analyze every failure. You are moving forward, perfectly restored and ready. Embrace this profound, holistic healing, for it is my ultimate gift to you. A heart made new, ready to laugh with a joy you haven't felt in years, and eyes capable of seeing the pure goodness of my provision without the filter of previous pain. Your disappointment is over, my child, and your great delight has come. Trust the renewal, trust the deep, inner sense of peace, and walk forward with the light of my love shining from your perfectly mended heart. This is your new beginning, cemented not by human memory, but by divine restoration. My beloved child, your mouth is not just an instrument for breathing or speaking casual words. It is a sacred tool of creation and declaration. The atmosphere around you is waiting for the sound of my truth spoken through your lips. As you stand on the precipice of this massive good news, I command you to speak only words of expectation and profound gratitude, for your tongue holds the actual, creative power to shape your reality. Do not negate the miracle I am manifesting with careless, fearful language. I invite you now, wholeheartedly, to learn to call those things which are not yet visible as though they already were, aligning the sound of your voice with the absolute certainty of mine. This is not mere positive thinking. This is faith in action, where your declaration bridges the gap between my divine promise and your present experience. Your prayers have reached me, my beloved, and your response must be an echo of my answer. If you seek provision, declare, my God supplies all my need according to his riches and glory. If you seek peace, affirm, the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, guards my heart and mind. This shift in language is your decisive step into your victory. I strictly command you to refuse to entertain any internal or external dialogue that minimizes my infinite power or doubts my faithful intent toward you. When the serpent of worry whispers, what if the money runs out? Or what if the job falls through? Answer it immediately and fiercely with, my God is the source of endless supply, and his promises are immutable. Your current vocabulary, my child, must perfectly reflect the settled reality of the miracle that is already in motion for you. Stop speaking of the problem. Start speaking of the solution that I am bringing. Stop speaking of lack. Start proclaiming the abundance you are about to receive. Let your daily proclamation be a loud, undeniable declaration of the victory you already possess in the spiritual realm. Wake up each morning and affirm, today, I walk in favor. Today, I receive my good news. Today, every step is ordered by my God. This powerful, positive momentum in your speech will push back the shadows of fear and draw the manifestation of the blessing closer with astonishing speed. The spiritual and physical atmosphere around your home, your work, and your relationships must testify to your settled, unshakable belief in my imminent, visible intervention. I am listening for the sound of your faith, my child. I know you have felt the weight of your words in the past, when fear caused you to speak failure and discouragement. But now, I am cleansing your lips with the fire of my spirit and replacing that fearful language with the language of faith, hope, and certainty. Take control of the creative power I have placed on your tongue. This is your moment to partner with me in the final act of your breakthrough. Speak boldly, speak thankfully, and speak without reservation, for you are speaking the truth of your God into your world. The greatness I am bringing requires the sound of confidence, not the whisper of doubt. You are a victor, my child, so let your words resonate with the truth of your royal identity. My beloved child, let us talk plainly about the material blessing I am bringing into your life, for it is arriving not merely for your personal comfort, but for a magnificent, far-reaching kingdom purpose. I want you to know that the increase, the wealth, the financial good news I am releasing is intrinsically tied to the grand, eternal purpose of the expansion of my kingdom and the blessing of the nations through you. This abundance has a divine mandate attached to it. I command you to prepare your heart and your mind immediately to become a faithful, wise steward of the resources I am entrusting to you. This wealth will flow through you, not merely to you. I am watching to see how you handle this increase, knowing that your faithfulness in this abundance will unlock even greater responsibilities and blessings in the future. See this increase not as a reward for past suffering, but as equipment for your future assignment. Your financial good news is directly linked to my larger plan to demonstrate my power and compassion in the world. I am breaking the stubborn cycle of generational lack and limitation in your life so that you can participate lavishly, generously, and fearlessly in the divine mandates I place before you, supporting the widow, feeding the hungry, raising up the fallen, and spreading the truth of my gospel. Envision the mighty good works you will accomplish with the substantial surplus I am providing. Picture the lives you will touch, the ministries you will fund, and the comfort you will bring to the desperate. That vision of generosity is the true purpose of your wealth. The increase is a clear, powerful sign that I deem you worthy and absolutely capable of carrying greater responsibility, spiritual, emotional, and financial. You have proven your faithfulness in the lean times and with the small resources. And now, I am escalating your capacity because I trust you with my provision. Do not fear this magnitude. Embrace the responsibility it brings. Your financial stability will be a rock for many others, a testimony to my unending supply. I warn you, my child, do not allow the blessing to become a bondage. Do not let the pursuit of material security replace your fervent dependence on me, your true source. The wealth I give must never be worshipped, but constantly utilized for good. You are moving into a position of influence where your financial decisions will directly impact the lives of countless others. Walk in integrity, give with open hands, and remember the source of your supply. Your provision is not accidental. It is a calculated, divine release designed to accelerate your calling and bring glory to my name. Accept this abundance not with greed, but with profound gratitude and a firm commitment to steward it wisely for the sake of the kingdom I love. Stop. You feel the resistance. The enemy of your soul senses the magnitude of the abundance I am bringing, and he is fighting fiercely for your focus. To close your ears and walk away when the key to your generational freedom and the wisdom for your kingdom purpose have just been revealed, that would be an act of profound spiritual disregard. I have equipped you. I have commanded the floodgates to open. Do not break the seal of this covenant moment by yielding to weariness. Your destiny is too vital to abandon now. Press in, my champion, and receive the rest of my decisive word. First person trigger line. My beloved, as I release this monumental abundance into your hands for my kingdom purpose, my spirit asks, will you use the very first fruits of your breakthrough to sow this living word into the hungry hearts of the world? This is your divine assignment, to become a conduit of the good news that sets captives free and brings my light to the darkest corners. Your seed is not merely currency. It is oil for the lamp and manna for the wilderness for those who are starving for this message. I declare over you, he who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, but he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully, and your harvest shall be 100-fold, protected and sealed by my hand. Look into the description now, my child, and make your powerful, undeniable contribution to my mission. My precious child, now we turn to the heart of your home, for I know the unspoken weight of fractured connections and strained relationships is heavier than any financial burden. Hear me. Good news often arrives wrapped in the priceless gift of restored family connection and deep reconciliation. I am moving upon hearts right now, even those that seem hardest, softening resistance, healing old, festering wounds, and rebuilding the bridges of love and understanding that you thought were permanently destroyed. I command you, my child, to pray with extreme specificity for the estranged hearts and the difficult people you long to see made whole. Your simple, earnest petition carries a mighty, undeniable power in the spiritual realm. Do not give up on that prodigal, that resistant family member, or that friend who turned away. Your persistence in prayer is now tipping the scales in their favor. The harmony, the peace, and the deep, abiding joy that you desire in your home, that environment of true safety and love, is part of the monumental blessing I am releasing to you right now. Expect absolute, tangible divine intervention in your most complex relationships, those situations that human effort, argument, or manipulation could never fix. I am the God of resolution, the ultimate redeemer of broken ties. You will see people return to their senses, apologize for past wrongs, and seek to mend the damage they caused. Do not meet their repentance with bitterness or a desire to keep score. Instead, meet them with the same boundless grace and overwhelming forgiveness that I have extended to you. Be the open door for reconciliation. Understand that your undeniable testimony of breakthrough, the sheer magnitude of the good news I am bringing into your life, will become the immediate, powerful catalyst for healing in the lives of those around you. When they see my hand undeniably resting upon you, the peace and joy radiating from your face, it will convict them of my reality and draw them back to the truth. Your life, my child, will be the living sermon they could not ignore. Prepare your heart to receive those who return. I know the tension in your home has felt like walking on glass, my child, the careful phrasing, the avoidance of certain topics, the quiet fear of explosive disagreement. That knot of constant stress is dissolving right now. I am bringing a new atmosphere of mutual respect, gentle communication, and genuine, heartfelt love. I will heal the emotional wounds in your children, bring wisdom to your spouse, and cement your relationships in a covenant of faith and unwavering loyalty to me. Rejoice in the coming domestic peace. Your peace is paramount to my purpose, and I am delivering it to you now. Stand ready to witness this profound, heartwarming restoration in every significant relationship in your life, my beloved. This good news is for your whole house. My beloved, now that your heart is ready for the profound, I must prepare your eyes for the subtle yet undeniable manifestations of my presence. I often choose to hide my greatest blessings and my most powerful interventions in the ordinary details you habitually overlook in your daily life. You are looking for a thunderclap, a dramatic sign in the sky, but I often arrive as a quiet, definitive shift in the routine. I command you now to develop a sacred vigilance. Watch for the seemingly small, synchronistic events, the unexpected call that perfectly answers a question you just prayed about, the sudden, unearned favor from a stranger, or the gentle, inner conviction that changes your plans at the last moment. These small moments are not random accidents. They are the distinct, consistent signposts of my active, engaged presence in your affairs. This is my perfect design for your life unfolding with precision. You must actively develop a profound habit of gratitude for the smallest evidence of my grace. The food on your table, the air you breathe, the roof over your head, the strength in your body. These are colossal miracles you take for granted. When you start thanking me fiercely for the little things, you are instantly demonstrating your fitness to receive the monumental things. Your grateful heart is the magnetic force that attracts my continued favor and abundance. Do not wait for the breakthrough to be grateful. Your gratitude is part of the breakthrough. Understand that the actual breakthrough you have waited for may not arrive in a flash of lightning or a roaring thunder, but as a silent, immediate, and permanent shift in your circumstances. Suddenly, the financial lack is gone, the sickness is lifted, the tension dissolves, and the clarity you sought is simply there. You will look back and realize the change happened quicker and quieter than you ever thought possible. Open your eyes to the constant, generous stream of favor and goodness that is actively surrounding you. My goodness is not waiting for a special occasion. It is the atmosphere of your life. The speed and fullness of your receiving, my child, are now directly proportional to your sensitivity to my subtle movements. I am guiding your dreams, speaking through your meditations, and offering wisdom in the quiet moments you choose to spend with me. Do not let the noise and distractions of the world drown out my clear guidance. I am with you always, not just in the church or the quiet room, but in the bustling marketplace, in the pressures of your job, and in the quiet of your home. I know the temptation to overcomplicate things, to analyze every step and doubt every quiet affirmation. But I am asking you to practice the simplicity of radical trust. Trust the guidance, trust the favor, and trust the unwavering loyalty of your Father. That unexpected help, that sudden burst of inspiration, that gentle sense of peace in a confusing moment. These are my fingerprints all over your daily life. Recognize them, thank me for them, and move with confidence, knowing that the God who manages the vast cosmos is meticulously ordering the small details of your day. Your attention to the mundane will reveal the magnificent. Walk forth in this awareness, my precious one, for your every step is a sacred one. My beloved child, let us move from vigilance to a higher, more powerful form of spiritual warfare, the deliberate, unwavering cultivation of joy. The joy of the Lord is not merely a pleasant feeling. It is your ultimate strength, the necessary, powerful fuel for your massive receiving. I forbid you now to wait until the good news arrives to be joyful. That is human reaction. I call you to divine action. I command you to celebrate the promise now, while you are waiting, while you are fighting, and while you are actively preparing for the increase. This deep, anticipatory joy is the most compelling evidence of your faith. I see the residual weariness in your soul, the exhaustion from the long battle you have fought. I understand the heaviness that tries to cling to you. But I tell you, laughter is a weapon of mass spiritual destruction against the enemy's attempts to cast a shadow of gloom over your destiny. Let joy erupt from your spirit. Laughter sends a powerful signal to the forces of darkness, proclaiming that you know the outcome, that the battle is already decided, and that your Father is good and faithful. The enemy cannot stand the sound of genuine, God-given happiness. Let your heart be light, my child, knowing with absolute certainty that all the crushing, weighty burdens that once pressed down upon your shoulders have been lifted and fully carried by my Son. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world, the heavy loads of past regret, or the anxiety of the future. Those are my burdens, and my yoke is light. Your continuous, authentic happiness is not just a benefit to you. It is a clear, visible sign of your deep, abiding trust in my perfect timing and my undeniable goodness. I call you now to cultivate a resilient spirit of buoyant expectation. This intentional choice to be happy, to live with hope, and to speak words of affirmation pleases your Heavenly Father immensely. It is a high form of worship, demonstrating that your faith is anchored not in fluctuating circumstances, but in the immutable truth of my promise. This joy is the vital energy you need to sustain the magnificent victory I am bringing, for breakthrough requires relentless spiritual vigor. You may feel a tension, a clash between the physical reality of your current challenge and the inner spiritual command to rejoice. Embrace a tension. That is the sound of my spirit transforming your circumstances. Your faith is a living force, and your joy is its highest expression. Do not let anyone, no matter how close, no matter how influential, speak words of defeat or discouragement over your joyful heart. I have given you the power to master your emotions through my Spirit. Use that power now to choose joy, to reject gloom, and to walk forward with a confident, radiant smile that reflects the overwhelming certainty of your impending good news. Your joy is your destiny made visible. I will teach you how to laugh from the deepest place in your soul, my child. A laugh that heals old wounds and chases away remaining shadows. Practice it now. Let the sound of that celebration precede the actual manifestation of the miracle, because the miracle is already an accomplished fact in my presence. Your persistent, unquenchable joy is the final stamp of assurance on your breakthrough. My beloved, this monumental good news you are receiving is far more than an increase in resources. It is the very resource and position you need to fully and finally step into your eternal, divine assignment. The financial stability, the clarity, the restored relationships, and the powerful peace. All of it is strategic equipment for the mission I created you to accomplish. Your training period is concluding, and your mission is beginning. The unique gifts, the passions, and the exceptional talents that I specifically placed within you before your birth are now about to be showcased for my ultimate glory and for the illumination of this world. I command you to no longer hide those gifts out of fear, insecurity, or false humility. The world desperately needs the unique expression of my light that only you can provide. Prepare your spirit for the elevation that will position you on a new, higher platform, giving you the voice and the influence necessary to impact many, many lives. Your testimony will reach far beyond your immediate circle. It will inspire, encourage, and draw the seeking hearts of countless others directly into my presence. Your life itself is becoming a powerful, living epistle. This breakthrough, this undeniable manifestation of my favor, is the official sign that your season of preparation, endurance, and testing is now conclusively finished. The long, weary wait is over. Review the deep passions I have placed in your heart, the injustices that make you weep, the causes that ignite your spirit, the needs that you cannot ignore. These are the infallible keys to identifying your unique purpose. Your deepest desire to help others is the precise direction of your divine mandate. I am fully equipping you right now for the specific work I created you to accomplish on this earth. This involves not only spiritual strength, but also practical wisdom, discernment, and the clear strategic foresight needed to manage the growth and scale of your mission. Do not let your mind be overwhelmed by the scope of this calling. I will never give you an assignment without simultaneously providing the absolute grace, the abundant resources, and the unwavering strength required to fulfill it. I know you have felt underqualified, perhaps wondering if someone else would be better suited for this honor. But I chose you. I called you from the deepest parts of the earth, and I have prepared you meticulously for this moment. Embrace the authority that comes with this new assignment. This good news is my official seal of approval, my divine certification that you are ready. You will walk forth with the confidence of one who knows they are perfectly positioned, profoundly equipped, and powerfully backed by the limitless resources of your Heavenly Father. Move now, my child, and begin to step into the magnificent reality of your eternal purpose. My beloved child, let us bring profound clarity to the complex issue of timing, for this often causes the deepest anxiety and misunderstanding. The period you perceive as a frustrating delay, a painful stretch of waiting, was actually the perfect, precisely calculated Kairos moment of preparation. Kairos is my time, the opportune, appointed, and eternal moment where all circumstances align perfectly for the manifestation of my will. I want you to stop looking at the frantic, limited calendar of man, which is filled with impatience and deadlines that only bring stress. Instead, I command you to trust the perfect, flawless timing of your Creator. Everything that is happening in your life, in the lives of those around you, and in the global economy, is unfolding precisely and without error according to my eternal and perfect schedule. Your impatience did not rush me. Your struggles did not slow me. I am the Alpha and the Omega, and my control over time is absolute. What you are witnessing in your life right now, this magnificent convergence of favor and breakthrough, is an orchestrated, powerful synchronicity of all your past, faithful prayers and the prophecies I have spoken over your life. Every tear you cried, every seed you sowed in faith, every moment of perseverance, all of it is being gathered up in this single, perfect moment of fruition. Do not discount the powerful significance of this convergence. The fullness of time has decisively arrived for the manifestation of my overwhelming favor in your life. My celestial clock has definitively struck the hour for your long-awaited, total deliverance. This is not a chance event. This is the irrefutable validation of your enduring faith. The fact that you persisted, that you did not surrender to despair, has unlocked this magnificent season of acceleration. I know you felt the weariness of the wait, the inner struggle to remain tranquil when the delay seemed endless. But I needed the fruit of your faith to be ripe, fully developed, and capable of sustaining the blessing without collapsing under its weight. Your character has been forged in the fire of patience, making you strong, capable, and ready for this tremendous responsibility. Rejoice, my child, for your patience has yielded a massive reward. I am giving you a supernatural sense of peace about the future that will completely nullify all lingering doubts and fears about tomorrow. Trust that the God who controls the stars and guides the seasons has meticulously planned your every step. The speed of the change you are about to see will erase all memory of the delay. Hold fast to this conviction. I am never late. I arrive precisely when I am needed most, in the perfect Kairos moment, delivering more than you could ask or imagine. Listen closely, my child. The Kairos moment of your destiny is unfolding, and I have given you the roadmap to navigate the suddenness of my intervention. I have revealed my perfect timing and the power of your corporate faith. To step back now would be to deny the collective power of the prayers that have tipped the scales in your favor. I command you, do not minimize this divine moment. Will you truly allow me to pour out this overflow only for you to hesitate at the last step? Honor my timing with your immediate attention, and let your presence be your testament to my faithfulness. My beloved child, look outward now to the spiritual community I have placed around you, for I want you to appreciate the immense, quiet power of the collective faith working on your behalf. Know that the united prayers of the saints, the countless, dedicated petitions of those who love you and believe in my truth, are ascending right now and are actively tipping the scales in your favor. Do not underestimate the sheer force of corporate faith, I urge you now to seek out genuine fellowship and intentionally share your powerful expectation and prophetic vision with those in your life who truly believe in my limitless power and unwavering promises. The faith of a loving community is designed to reinforce and strengthen your personal assurance, especially in those momentary lapses of doubt that creep in during the final stage of the wait. Draw strength from their conviction. Allow the strong belief of your spiritual family to hold you steady as you walk through this final stage of manifestation. The faith of your brethren is a powerful shield against the enemy's attempts to discourage you and sow seeds of doubt right before the victory. Stand in powerful, definitive agreement with others for their breakthroughs and their victories, and you will see your own miracle accelerate with astonishing speed. The principle of sowing and reaping is not just financial. When you pray earnestly for another's blessing, you are simultaneously setting the stage for your own overflow. I assure you, my child, your magnificent good news will not remain isolated. It will become a powerful, visible catalyst and an irresistible encouragement for your brethren, proving once again that my promises are always reliable. Your testimony is meant to inspire a mighty wave of faith in your community, showing them the reality of my immediate, visible intervention. There is profound, divine synergy in gathering together to celebrate the absolute certainty of my promises, even before you hold the physical proof in your hands. I want you to experience the deep, undeniable power of being connected, not to those who complain and criticize, but to the strong, resilient, joy-filled hearts who believe I am who I say I am. This corporate faith is your divine insurance policy against the final, desperate attacks of the adversary. Lean on their strength, and let their faith bolster your own. This is my perfect design for the body of my Son: mutual encouragement, powerful intercession, and collective celebration of victory. Go now, my beloved, and unite your heart with those who believe, for your collective shout of praise will usher in the miracle. My precious child, I speak now directly to the chaos that has clouded your thinking and the fog that has obscured your next steps. All previous mental fog, spiritual blindness, and the nagging confusion concerning your true path are being actively, permanently dissolved by the fierce, brilliant light of my truth. The season of indecision and paralyzing doubt is decisively over. I am granting you a lavish, immediate outpouring of absolute clarity concerning every single step you must take from this day forward. You will know, with an inner conviction that cannot be shaken, precisely which path is mine, which door to walk through, and which word to speak. The profound wisdom you need to manage the massive increase and the significant responsibilities I am bringing is being poured out generously and without restraint. Ask for that wisdom now, and watch it flood your mind. The deceptive, critical voices of doubt, the destructive counsel of your own fear, and the misdirection planted by the enemy. All of these are being permanently silenced and banished from your heart and mind. I am removing the source of all spiritual and emotional noise that has made it difficult for you to hear my clear, still voice. Trust the quiet, unwavering inner conviction of my Holy Spirit. It is your infallible, perfect guide. It will lead you away from all snares and into the clear light of your destiny. You have been struggling in the wilderness of indecision, fearful of making the wrong choice and delaying your breakthrough through hesitation. But I am here now, leading you out of that place and directly into the promised land of absolute, powerful clarity. Do not let the magnitude of your blessing tempt you to overanalyze. The path is simple, clear, and perfectly laid out for you. You will move with a confidence and certainty that will amaze everyone who sees you, for you will know exactly what you are doing and why. I command you to reject every remaining shadow of doubt or second-guessing. Your decisions are being guided by the spirit of wisdom, not the spirit of fear. What you are feeling now, that deep, quiet certainty, is the sound of my peace in the deepest part of your soul. Embrace that peace as your compass and your shield. You are no longer navigating by guesswork or human logic. You are walking by the certain, eternal light of my divine guidance. Move forward now, my child, with a clear mind and an unshakable resolve. My beloved, I see the long shadow the fight has cast over you, the sheer weariness of the weight, the spiritual struggle, the emotional drain, the constant feeling of pushing against an invisible resistance, hath been heavy. But hear my declaration now, that weariness is being permanently replaced with a supernatural, relentless, divine energy. I am pouring out a fresh anointing of strength and vigor directly into your spirit, your soul, and your physical body, preparing you with the vitality necessary for the demands of this massive blessing. You will no longer struggle to begin your day, to find the motivation to pray, or to confront the challenges before you. The days of relying solely on your own limited, depleted strength are decisively over, my child. From this moment forward, you will rely entirely on the inexhaustible, electrifying power and unction of my Holy Spirit who lives within you. Stand up now and feel the surge of new life in your veins. The anointing I give you is not a temporary fix. It is a permanent wellspring of vigor that will sustain your victory and fuel your divine assignment. Your journey has been a test of endurance, and your consistent faith, that quiet, tenacious belief you refuse to surrender, has become a living, dynamic force. This faith is now giving you the spiritual endurance required to sustain your victory, manage your increase, and fulfill your destiny. You were not created to live a small, exhausted life, my beloved. I created you for abundant, vibrant, impactful living, and I am restoring that original design now. I command you to expect a supernatural revival that will touch every part of your being, a revival in your spirit that makes you fiercely joyful, revival in your soul that grants deep, abiding peace, and a revival in your physical body that brings lasting health and boundless energy. You will encounter people who remember the weariness and the heaviness you once carried. They will be amazed by the lightness, the radiance, and the tireless zeal they now see in you. Tell them plainly, this is the work of my God, the restorer of my soul. The good news you are about to receive will not deplete you. On the contrary, it will require and activate your best, most vigorous, most resilient self, and I am personally providing every ounce of that strength for you. You may have believed the lie that only the young or the unburdened can achieve great things. Reject that limitation immediately. Your age, your past struggles, and your moments of weakness do not define your capacity. They have simply prepared you to receive this fresh, powerful infusion of my strength. I am giving you the stamina of a marathon runner and the fierce spirit of a lioness. You will confront challenges that once paralyzed you and walk through them with the serene confidence of one who is powerfully, unequivocally backed by the Almighty. I know the daily grind has been overwhelming, the pressure to provide, the weight of responsibility, the constant need to remain strong for others. Surrender all that exhaustion to me now. I am your rest, my child. I am your deep, restorative peace in the quiet of the night, and I am your powerful, unyielding strength in the light of the morning. You will sleep soundly, and you will wake up with an intense, holy desire to meet the day with conquering faith. No attack of the enemy, no spiritual pressure, no physical ailment, no emotional exhaustion will be able to cling to you. You are being washed clean, fortified, and sealed for victory. Walk in this new vigor, my champion, and conquer the day I have given you. My precious one, before you receive the physical manifestation of this blessing, you must stand fully and consciously in the spiritual truth of who you are in me. Remember this immutable truth above all else. You are a child of the King, the Most High God, and you are the heir to an eternal, rich, and boundless inheritance. This is not a metaphor. This is the reality of your spiritual DNA, and it is the foundation upon which every single blessing I am about to bestow upon you must rest. Your immense, immeasurable value is not determined by the mistakes you have made, the failures you have endured, or the judgment others have passed upon you. Your value is irrevocably fixed by my unconditional, fierce, and relentless love for you, made possible by the sacrifice of my Son. Do not let the defeated past define your royal identity. The past is under the blood. You are defined by your glorious future and your unbreakable connection to me. I command you, my beloved, to walk henceforth with the profound dignity and powerful authority that is appropriate for a member of my royal priesthood. You are not a victim. You are a victor. You are not an afterthought. You are a first thought. Your presence, your voice, and your purpose carry the weight of my kingdom. This good news I am bringing you, this undeniable breakthrough, is not a handout. It is a clear, visible demonstration of your rightful standing as a joint heir with Christ, positioned to rule and reign with Him in this life and the next. I know the whispers of inadequacy have tried to shrink you, to make you believe you are too small or too flawed to receive such a monumental blessing. Shrink back no more. Confidently embrace the great, life-altering things I am bestowing upon you, knowing that your capacity is not limited by human measure, but by my infinite power working through you. Your humility should be expressed not in diminishing your identity, but in recognizing that all your strength and blessing come from me. This unwavering identity in me is the indestructible foundation for every single blessing you are about to receive. Without this firm truth, the blessing itself could become a burden or a snare. But because you know you are mine, you will steward this increase with wisdom, authority, and perfect alignment to my will. Look in the mirror and speak this truth now. I am the beloved of the King. My inheritance is sure. My purpose is eternal. I walk in divine authority. I am elevating you, my child, to a position of respect and influence, placing you among leaders and decision makers. You must carry yourself with the grace and confidence of royalty. Let your actions, your speech, and your entire demeanor reflect the undeniable reality of your royal lineage. Do not stoop to petty arguments. Do not seek validation from those who have no authority over you, and do not waste your time chasing after fleeting approval. Your approval comes only from me, and I have already given it fully and freely. Go now and walk like the King's child you are. My beloved, as you prepare to receive this floodgate of abundance, we must solidify the foundational, eternal principle of the harvest, the immutable law of sowing and reaping. This good news you are expecting is the harvest of past obedience and faithful perseverance, but your present actions are the seeds for your next, even greater harvest. I command you to be aggressively generous now with what you have, even in the small measures, anticipating the multiplied, overwhelming harvest that is surely and swiftly coming to you. Your generosity, your kindness, your offering of time or resource, is not a tax. It is an investment in my kingdom bank, where the returns are always supernatural, compounded, and eternal. Sow generous seeds of gratitude, of praise, and of selfless service, especially before the breakthrough, while you are waiting. This act of giving in advance is a powerful declaration of your faith, proving that you trust my promise more than the contents of your wallet. Your faithfulness in the small, often unseen things, my child, is the most powerful and reliable predictor of your wise stewardship over much, much more. The law of the harvest is absolute. It cannot be broken. Your current sowing of faith, kindness, and resource directly and immediately determines the grand, exponential reaping that is about to fill your life. Do not delay your generosity. I command you to invest in the kingdom with an open, cheerful hand. Remember the eternal truth. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I am giving you the power to direct your heart's loyalty by the intentional placement of your resource. You are moving out of the time of lack and into a season of surplus. This abundance is a tool, and its primary purpose is to advance my divine mandates. I want you to give sacrificially now, today, for the coming good news will completely validate the profound integrity and pure motivation of your actions. Your past suffering was for a season. Your future giving is for eternity. Let your hands be open to receive, and open to give away. I know the natural instinct is to hoard, to clutch the small resource tightly, fearing that the lack might return. Banish that fearful, small-minded instinct. The God who gave you this first harvest is the same God who will manage your perpetual supply. I have broken the cycle of scarcity over your life and your children. You will move with the confidence of one who knows their source is limitless, not the one who fears the bottom of the barrel. Act like an heir of the Most High, my child, not a pauper. I am watching your giving, my beloved. Your cheerful sacrifice in the mundane of today is the clearest evidence that you will be a faithful channel for the magnificent abundance I am bringing in the immediate future. Go and sow, my child, and prepare for the overwhelming surge of the harvest. Your obedience in giving will accelerate the very news you are waiting to receive. Do not let the beauty of this word fade, my precious one. We have uncovered the profound principles of your royal identity, the power of your affirmation, and the law of the harvest that is bringing forth your multiplied abundance. To disengage now, to let this living truth dissipate like morning mist, would be to waste the fire I have placed in your spirit. Your new song of deliverance is waiting to be sung, my child. Honor my sacrifice with your sustained focus. Receive the full power of the commission I am placing upon you, and let my voice be the singular, compelling urgency in your soul. First person trigger line. My faithful one, you have stood firm on the immutable law of the harvest. I have asked you to sow bountifully in anticipation, but hear this deep truth. Your ultimate harvest includes the multiplication of my voice and my presence on this platform. The good news you receive must flow out like a mighty river, carrying the seeds of hope to souls in desperate need of this very conversation. Your partnership is a sacred fire that illuminates the path for millions, extending the reach of my grace far beyond your sight. I proclaim over you, my child, give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I will personally ensure your every seed planted is transformed into a forest of blessing for your house. Do not hesitate. Step into your role as a kingdom sower and empower this message now. My precious one, the spiritual culmination of every struggle is always a new song, a personal, profound testimony that only you can sing, born out of the fire of your deliverance. I am actively preparing your heart and your spirit to sing a testimony you have never sung before, a melody of triumph that speaks directly to the depth of the value you have just conquered. This magnificent good news is designed to permanently silence every single critic, every adversary, and every doubting voice, transforming your life into a permanent, undeniable memorial to my glory and my unwavering faithfulness. I command you to begin writing the beautiful lyrics of your praise report now, even before the final manifestation. The pen of a ready writer is required, capturing the gratitude and the certainty that the victory is already assured. Your voice, my child, will soon carry the undeniable sound of victory, a sound so authentic and powerful that it will draw the lost, the broken, and the seeking hearts directly into my presence. Your personal story of breakthrough is a divine tool, designed to be a beacon of hope for those who are currently walking in the darkness you have just left. Let your worship intensify, my beloved, for it is the highest, most potent form of preparation for a massive miracle. Your focused praise is the incense that attracts my manifest presence and power into your situation. I know you have sung the songs of endurance, the melodies of hope, and the quiet hymns of waiting. And now, I am tuning your spirit for the crescendo of celebration, a sound that proclaims your permanent deliverance and your absolute triumph. The ultimate, most magnificent purpose of your entire breakthrough, the wealth, the health, the clarity, the peace, is fundamentally to magnify the name of your Almighty God. Your life will be a powerful echo of my goodness. This new song of deliverance will be a constant reminder that I did not merely assist you, I delivered you, I elevated you, and I established you in a place of permanent peace and prosperity. It will solidify the truth that your victory came not from your cleverness or strength, but from my merciful intervention. Let your soul be filled with the sound of this new song now. Rejoice that your time of crying has given way to your season of singing. I am putting the words in your mouth, the melody in your heart, and the power in your testimony. Speak it, sing it, and write it down. This song will not only liberate you, but it will liberate those who listen to it, breaking their chains of despair and fear. Your life, my child, is becoming a concert of my grace, and the world is waiting to hear your powerful, unique, and magnificent song of triumph. Begin the praise now, my beloved, and prepare for the ultimate celebration. My beloved, hear this powerful, undeniable declaration. The time for struggling against barriers has decisively ended. The mountains that have stood stubbornly in your way, casting long, discouraging shadows over your path and hindering your progress, are now being commanded by my sovereign voice to be removed and immediately cast into the deepest part of the sea. You will no longer measure your journey by the size of your obstacles, but by the speed of my intervention. The mountain is not greater than my power, and your struggle is not greater than my love for you. I know you have faced seemingly insurmountable legal issues, bureaucratic red tape, and systemic opposition that felt like an unbreakable wall. I assure you, my child, no human law, no legal decree, no financial policy, and no corporate mandate can stand against my perfect, sovereign will for your life. My word is the final authority, and what I have decreed in the heavens for your blessing is now being established on the earth through my undeniable power. I am the Lord who makes a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Therefore, your path is not subject to the chaos of this world, but to the certainty of my order. I am sending my mighty warrior angels, my legions of light, to go before you now to actively clear the remaining path and remove all final, lingering opposition. Any person, any power, any entity, or any spiritual force attempting to block your massive blessing, attempting to sow discord or steal your peace, is now subject to my divine, swift authority and will face defeat and disgrace. You will not have to fight this final, decisive battle. Your role is to be still, trust, and watch my salvation unfold powerfully on your behalf. You will witness a phenomenon in your life. Expect the utterly impossible to become immediately achievable by the sheer force of my direct, immediate intervention. That financial resolution you were told would take months will be settled in days. That healing you were told was unattainable will manifest with speed. That relationship reconciliation that seemed hopeless will happen suddenly and completely. This is the magnitude of my divine operation in your life. The path of the righteous, my beloved child, is not one of struggle and confusion. It is made straight, clear, and perfectly navigable now, with all impediments removed by my glorious power. You have feared the cunning plots and the malicious gossip of those who are jealous of your connection to me. You have worried about the consequences of their actions. I tell you, their schemes are already falling apart. Their words have no power, and their malice is returning upon their own heads. You are safe in the shadow of my wings, enveloped in my protection, and nothing they plot can prosper against you. Release the fear of retaliation and the weight of their judgment. Your focus must be fixed entirely on the joy of your incoming good news, not on the defeated enemy's final struggles. I am dismantling the spiritual strongholds of anxiety, stress, and fear that have tried to make their home in your mind, telling you that success is conditional or that the good news might be revoked. I am the God of eternal covenants. My promises are unchangeable. This breakthrough is sealed by my will and my love, and no force in creation can overturn it. Your victory is not a fragile hope. It is a solid, settled reality. I want you to walk with the confidence of one who knows the final, glorious outcome is already decided in your favor. I command you to speak directly to the remaining obstacles in your path. Do not negotiate with them. Command them to move in the name of my Son. Use the authority I have placed upon you as my heir, and declare that every hindrance to your peace, your provision, and your purpose must yield immediately. Your voice, filled with my faith, is the sound of my power being released into your situation. Go now, my warrior, and witness the immediate, final defeat of all your adversaries. The way is cleared, the path is straight, and your magnificent breakthrough is right at your door. My precious child, now that you are standing on the very ground of your manifestation, before you fully embrace this overwhelming surge of good fortune, we must pause for a moment of profound, soul-deep reflection. Listen closely, for this truth is essential for your sustained success and peace. Remember that to whom much is given, much is eternally required for my kingdom purposes. This blessing is not an end in itself. It is equipment for your divine assignment, a test of your stewardship, and a clear demonstration of my love that must be shared. I desire for this news, this undeniable increase in peace, provision, and clarity, to deepen your absolute dependence on me, not to create a dangerous, fleeting reliance on the blessing itself. The gift is a marvelous thing, but the giver is eternal. Do not let the joy of the provision distract you from the importance of your intimate connection to me, your source and your sustainer. The gold is not the goal. I am the treasure you must seek above all else. Guard your heart against the subtle snare of self-sufficiency that tries to creep in when life becomes easy. Understand that the ultimate, most magnificent good news is not the financial freedom or the restored health, though I grant these freely. The true, unshakable good news is the eternal, foundational truth of your salvation, your identity, and your secure place in my Son, Jesus Christ. That reality is the anchor of your soul, the eternal guarantee that cannot be lost, stolen, or diminished by any circumstance. All the other blessings are simply earthly, temporary manifestations of my limitless love, designed to make your journey here joyous and impactful. Your entire breakthrough, your life of favor, and your story of deliverance should serve as a powerful, transparent lens through which this weary, cynical world can clearly and undeniably see my boundless compassion, my power, and my reality. Your success is not just for your comfort. It is a clear testimony to my goodness. I command you, therefore, to use this powerful favor and this magnificent increase to draw closer to me, prioritizing your intimate relationship with me above all other endeavors, relationships, or possessions. Your life, my child, is a living, walking epistle, a letter of my love written for the world to read, and this specific, triumphant chapter is being written right now for the illumination and inspiration of every seeking heart. Do not edit my greatness out of your testimony. Share your story openly, honestly, and humbly, giving me all the glory for what I have done. The world is waiting to read the evidence of my faithfulness in your life. I know the pressures of the world will now try to pull your focus, the demands of the new blessing, the complexities of the new opportunities. the temptation to rest on your achievements. Resist that pull. Remain rooted in the simplicity of faith, the ferocity of your gratitude, and the daily commitment to sit in my presence. This is the secret to sustaining the breakthrough and multiplying the harvest. Come to me every day, my beloved, and let my wisdom be the singular guide for your abundant, purposeful future. Your reflection must always lead you back to your source. My precious one, the spiritual work is complete, the path is cleared, the wisdom is poured out, and the power is released. Now, you must prepare your practical, physical reality for the final, astonishing act, the suddenness of the manifestation. Hear my truth. I command you to prepare your heart for a rapid, overwhelming, and undeniable outpouring of goodness that will exceed every expectation you have held up to this moment. I often choose to deliver my greatest, most definitive blessings with an element of powerful surprise. The change may not be gradual. It may arrive suddenly, in a single day, a single hour, or a single phone call, completely overwhelming all previous expectations and erasing all memory of the delay. Do not be surprised by the sheer, magnificent magnitude of what I am about to do for you. The greater the weight, the more sudden and profound the surge of my favor. I command you to stand alert and ready. The undeniable evidence of the good news you have waited for may manifest at any unexpected moment. A resolution, a healing, a financial transfer, a reconciliation. You will look back at the former struggle and see that the complete, total change happened quicker and more comprehensively than you ever dreamed possible. Be ready to contain the glorious surge, my child, for my favor is now like a floodgate opening. I know the natural tendency is to become hesitant, questioning the authenticity of such sudden, powerful change. Reject the temptation to doubt the miracle after it has arrived. Do not allow fear to stop you from embracing the fullness of the blessing. This suddenness is simply my way of reminding you, and the world, that I am the God of the impossible, the ultimate orchestrator who can change everything in a moment, faster than human hands or minds could ever manage. You must prepare your home, your finances, and your relationships with the immediate reality of abundance. Stop speaking the language of lack. Stop making plans based on limitation. Act like the recipient of a massive miracle. Your preparation is not about fear, it is about profound, certain expectation. Clean out the old spaces, make room for the new resources, and anticipate the overflowing measure of my goodness I am bringing to you and your family. This good news will be so great, so immediate, and so complete that it will leave no room for doubt about its source. You will not be able to claim credit. You will only be able to proclaim my greatness. Let your soul be filled with the joyous anticipation of this glorious, imminent surprise. Walk with me now, my beloved, for your moment of overwhelming, sudden manifestation is here. My beloved child, this is my final word to you in this sacred conversation. Hear it, engrave it upon the tablet of your heart, and let it be the anchor for your soul. Go forth now, clothed in the invincible mantle of expectation and the radiant garment of perpetual praise. The season of waiting is over. The era of walking in your destiny has begun. Know, with an unshakable certainty that supersedes all physical evidence, that my mighty hand is upon you, directing, protecting, and empowering you. My eye is continually watching over your path. My ear is always inclined to your prayers, and my love is the unbreakable shield that encircles your life. This magnificent good news you have received, and are receiving, is not a fragile hope. It is sealed by my eternal, unchangeable promise and my endless, fierce, and unconditional love for you. You are mine, and nothing can ever snatch you from my grip. I commission you now, share your powerful testimony freely, widely, and humbly. for your story is designed to be a brilliant, undeniable light to those who are currently walking in the exact darkness you have just left. Your victory is not just for your benefit. It is a sacred tool of inspiration for the broken and the hopeless. Walk in the divine authority and the supernatural peace that comes only from the profound inner knowing that your Heavenly Father, your protector, your source, has perfectly provided for your every need. Your financial freedom, your restored health, your deep joy, all of it is a clear statement of my love. The journey continues, my precious one, but let this undeniable breakthrough be the perpetual, inexhaustible spring of your gratitude, your hope, and your unyielding faith. I love you, my child. Now, go and live in the fullness of your destiny. Amen. My child, you have received my final word of blessing and my ultimate commission. Will you now seal your breakthrough by empowering the very voice that brought this good news to your heart? This message of total deliverance must not be silenced. It must flow out like a river of life to every nation, igniting faith and shattering chains. Your partnership is the unbreakable, golden link in the chain of compassion, ensuring this prophetic conversation reaches those walking in the deepest shadows. I bless your generosity, proclaiming, I will open for you the windows of heaven and pour out for you such blessing that there will not be room enough to receive it. Your sacrifice is my delight, and I will defend and multiply every resource you commit to my word. Act on this urgency. Sow into this prophetic mission and secure your overflow immediately. My child, you have received my final word of blessing and commission. The glorious surge of your good news is not a future hope. It is a present reality in the spiritual realm, demanding your immediate, decisive action. Do not let this powerful moment pass in silence. I command you now, seal this breakthrough with the power of your public declaration. Go into the comments below and declare this simple, mighty truth. I am ready for the good news. Speak it, seal it, and watch how your bold affirmation accelerates the manifestation of my promise. Your faith is your final, decisive move. Make it now. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.